chilling.
Finally, went ahead, got myself a new monitor. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me. We live, but let me get this out there. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Grand opening, grand closing. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. What's going on? Let me do a couple of things right here. Let me do my welcome message. Welcome to 60 FNL. Please like
good, my brother?
Subscribe. Oh shit! The antagonizer in chief is here.
Oh man, barely. I was barely able to make it, man. I'm just leaving Texas de Brasilia restaurant.
Oh, we have that here, Texas to Brazil.
Yeah.
Yo, talk about coma.
Hey man, if y'all hear me snoring back here, man, just move me down to the snooze room.
Yo, that restaurant. Oh my god, I love that place, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yo, I love Texas to Brazil. Oh my god, the food is just.
Oh man.
Oh my god, I could
crazy.
Then they just keep, once you flip that chip to the green, it's a wrap, boy. It's a wrap, Jesus. Boy.
Oh yeah.
Yo. Hey, yo, T-Easy like, hey, P-Rock posting wrap-ups. Yo, my wrap-ups is certified, all right? T-Easy, yo, T-Easy, you know what, T-Easy, if you want to hop on, you know, because technically speaking, you are honorary pony. You know what I'm saying? T-Easy out here, repping Xbox, but when my man saw the stats, he's like, wait a minute. I got more hours on PlayStation. Because, you know what I'm saying? Greatness recognizes greatness, bro. The greatness, you can't lie, you can't hide from the greatness. Yo, the year where everybody says PlayStation had no games, TZ found a way to get more hours on PlayStation and on Xbox. Shout out to TZ the pony goat.
I'm glad you mentioned that, man. I don't know why for the rock, but this time of year, every year, PlayStation Nation come out the woodwork, and it's like a badge of honor.
Like we can't wait to show our wrap-ups. We can't wait.
Listen, we got all spiffy with a suit and bow tie and everything, ready to come out.
It's like an awards banquet. It's like an awards banquet for us.
Listen, it's a rites of passage to be a PlayStation Nation. You got to show you know. But then on the other side, Puerto Rock, on the other side of the aisle, you got the Xbox dudes. They quiet. They act like they busy at work. They act like they ain't got time. They say, yeah, check me later, man. I'll talk to y'all later. Man, they on my brother Post-Up's head.
Yeah, where's Post-Ups? He showed up his wrap-up?
Hey, man.
Did he post it? He didn't tell me. Lizzie.
That brother had 3 games. God,
did he?
Damn.
Nah, he really posted it?
3 hours. Yeah, he posted it. Well, they had no choice. They went and found his. They went and found his shit for him and posted it.
And they did it. They hacked this shit. They said we're gonna do this shit. They're gonna. He said we're gonna do this shit for you.
They said well, you post up. You can do this the hard way or the easy way. Which one you want to take?
Let me see. No, I see Post Up. It looking good. He got 700.
Come on, Porter.
He got 700 hours. He does. Unless no, that's him, right?
No. That's not him, brother.
What? This is fake.
The wrong one. He played 3 games. Yeah, he got 8 hours total.
It says right here, total games 108.
No.
Is this fake?
You looking at the wrong. That's.
I'm showing you. Let me show you right now. I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is fake. Is that him or?
Damn, man, I can't see.
No, that went Bird Box.
That's right here.
No, but look at the screen.
Yeah,
it says Post Up.
Nah.
That's not him.
No.
You say.
Look, I got Post. He not only on my friends list, but I got his stats.
That's not him. Right is that his avatar? Is that his avatar?
I see the 2 Post Up.
Well, is that his avatar?
You about to bust his cheeks right
What-
now? Well, you got stuff, you know.
Oh,
I mean, what's
pause.
No, he's
right here.
he said, "Whoa, balls! We ain't busting nobody's cheeks. There's no cheeks." He said, "Balls." He's like, "Yo, we're talking about wrap-ups here. Like, yo, relax."
happening? Somebody's out there.
He said,
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. My brother, he played 3 games.
Yo.
He played 3 games all year for a total of 8 hours. Man,
no, I can't.
Are you serious?
Oh,
real talk.
shit.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah. So they went and got his stuff for him, and they posted it out there. So he didn't have no choice.
So this ain't his though.
Nah.
That's not him. Then who?
Nope.
Then who is this?
Then whose is
I
this?
got the. Hold on. I can't see your screen right now. I'm on my
You
phone.
can't see, but
Oh,
my man. Oh man, J Dub, you ain't going Bird Box on me, are you? He like,
I ain't going
he going Sandra Bullock.
yeah, he got a 37,000 player score, and it says current reward is 9,000, almost 9,800. So.
Oh, you just got the. I thought you were talking about the PlayStation.
No, no, the screen. Well, what are you talking about?
Okay. No.
On the screen.
Okay, I see it now. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's his Xbox. Yeah,
Okay, that's his
I'm
Xbox.
talking about PlayStation. Yeah, I'm talking about PlayStation.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. But at least on Xbox, you know, at least he's playing on the platform he reps.
Yeah.
No. Listen, Puerto Rock.
That's more than I can say for other Xbox dudes.
No, but here's the thing, like y'all know I'm not an Xbox guy, and my shit way higher than that. But it's okay. It is what it is. But you know, salute to my brother post up, man. We just beating his legs in as we should. But his PlayStation, my brother played 3 games in only 8 hours of PlayStation.
Yeah.
But it's okay, man. It's okay. Listen, it's this whole wrap up thing, man. It's not about
Xbox is true to the cause. Post up is true to the cause.
Trophy hunting. It's not about any of that stuff, man. It's just the fact that there's a lot of people out here in the gaming sphere that hide their achievements, they hide trophy score, they hide everything, but they're the loudest mouths out there. And so this is a time of year where you can just put all your cards on the table, let people see that you do what you do, and it's okay and it's fine, and come out and celebrate gaming. It's been a great year for gaming, but there's a lot of people that's quiet. There's a lot of people in the media, a lot of fake journalists out here that hide their stuff, and they don't want to partake in this. And I find that, you know, very, very suspicious, especially as a journalist. Where this is your job, this is your bread and butter is gaming, and your shit hidden, and you know, it's like, you know, I don't know, man. I look at it like this: if you're a content creator, if you're a journalist, and that's what you do, that's how you make your money. Why don't you just play games and stream it? You'll get more viewers, you'll get more followers. That's your content. Your channel can be your resume, your gaming resume. If anybody ever want to see, you know, what you playing, all they got to do, you know, they don't have to go look for your stuff. Just go to YouTube channel. It's all there. But a lot of these dudes don't do that, you know, and so that's why.
But I'm gonna tell you, that's because this community, many members, I'm not gonna say everybody, but people accept people being frauds.
Yeah.
Like remember who was it? Remember who was that Xbox ambassador? She even admitted she don't play Xbox games. She just watched her boyfriend play Xbox games. Like she literally admitted she don't play the games.
Yeah.
And they still defended her. They still defended her because she does, I guess, charities or all this other stuff that has nothing to do with gaming. And that's okay. You understand what I'm saying? And I would say, in my opinion, we're probably the only hobby or hobbyists in a hobby that allow that nonsense. I can't think of any other hobby of any type that would allow, you know, or even defend people who don't partake in the hobby, and we defend them. Imagine book clubs defending people who don't read books. You won't see that. There's no book reader. There's no book reader that you know, you have a book club, and then now it's time to discuss the book, and somebody's like out of pocket, and you're like. You're like, whoa, what? Like, did you read this book? And they tell you no, but you know, I seen, you know, a couple of, you know, tutorials or whatever, you know, videos. They're gonna be like, you know, one, they'll take it personal because the book club, they put in the time to read this book. They're not gonna let somebody that's not gonna put in the time, right? Imagine like sports, right? You're Houston Astros fan, right? You're a big Houston Astros fan.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody's arguing with you that for the last 10 years, Houston Astros been one of the most garbage teams to ever play baseball, and you come to find out that person never watched baseball of any type. Yeah. You can't have a conversation with a person like that. You're like, I'm not talking to you. Get out of here. We won't even waste. It won't even be an argument.
Yep.
Like, we wouldn't even give them the time of day, let alone someone defend them. There'll be no sports fan that would defend a person. Even like, listen, somebody could go to Dallas and talk shit, but if I found out they don't watch football, I'm like, get out of here. You don't know shit about football. So we're not gonna
have different types of phones. You know, the thing is, we have people who will spend thousands of dollars on hardware and then complain about the price of the games that hardware was supposed to, you know, enable. So it's not just
that's not the same. Yeah, that's not the same scenario though.
No, it isn't. But the thing is, I found that fraudulent. How can you go and spend, you know, $2,000 on a 4090, and then you want to be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to pay for these games.
Yeah, but you know, believe it or not, that's common because I seen guys. Like, I know a few guys that bought like Ducatis for motorcycle, but they complain about the price of the helmet.
Exactly.
What? You bought a Ducati, but you want a cheap helmet? Like, the fuck is you talking about? It's back, if anything, that helmet's gonna save your life. So you want a good helmet. Oh, J-Dub, no, J-Dub. Don't be that dude. Don't be that dude.
As a Ducati owner, I'm gonna be honest. This is why that scenario happens.
He wants $50 helmets.
No. Listen. Right? It's not about the money. It's the principle that, for example, there's certain type of helmets. I have a collection of Valentino Rossi helmets. Right? He's like the Michael Jordan of MotoGP racing. Right? His helmets are extremely expensive. I don't mind buying those. That's why I have the whole collection. Throughout all these years, I've collected all the helmets. But just a simple motorcycle, just a regular plain Jane motorcycle helmet. When I go to Soccer World or whatever, I may see a helmet. It looks nice, and then I look at the price tag, and I was like, "Damn, this shit's expensive." And it's because I don't see the value of that particular helmet. It's like, man, this thing should be $300. Why is it $500? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, it is being a cheap ass, but it's like it's okay to do that in that respect in the motorcycle world, at least. It is. I can't. That's all I can explain it. It is like, yeah, sure, you done spend $30,000 on the Ducati, but $500 for this helmet? Oh hell no! Like I'm
you have no right. You have no right. I'm sorry.
I know.
My man just said I spent 30 G's on a Ducati, $500 for this. My man said I spent 30,000 on Ducati, $500 for this. What the?
There's going to be a lot of motorcycle guys that will back me up when it comes to
listen, if you buy a Ferrari, you don't have the right to complain about the tires. I'm sorry, you have no right. I don't care how expensive the tires are. They could be $10,000. You bought that thing for $300,000. I don't want to hear any complaints out of you. Everybody else has the right to complain. Not you.
Okay, so hold on. This is what I'm. Okay, you know, as a Ferrari owner, let me explain.
Oh man, he's like, hold on. He's like, as a Ferrari owner, I could talk about that too.
If I said a mention, he'd be like, as a mention.
Wait, hold up. Listen. If you own a super yacht, do not complain. You're paying $30,000 for fuel. Well, as a super yacht owner, like, oh shit, like, oh damn. Like, listen, don't. He's like, listen. J-Dub's like, listen here, 99%. Don't talk about shit the 1% owns. Unless you own it, you can't talk about it.
No, I'm just giving like different scenarios of where, like we cheap out. Like, and even my wife said, said you so fucking frugal and cheap on some things, but other things it's like you spare no expense, which is crazy.
Yeah,
That
I know
is
what you mean.
true. Like gaming, right? And that's just for me, for my hobby, right? Gaming and cars are one of those things where I spare no expense because it is something fun that I love, and it causes my enjoyment. But if my wife say, "Hey, go shopping at the store and get some groceries or something like that,"
My man getting the Walmart special.
Yeah, exactly. I'm cheap on the cheese. I'm cheap on the milk. Oh, this goddamn corn and eggs. Goddamn, this shit $5. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
yo, for the tires. That's exactly why you shouldn't complain about the tires because you're cheap everywhere else. So
my man, listen. My man doesn't get the artisan bread. My man just gets the one in a white bag with the black lettering, white bread.
The 89-cent parade brand, off brand. I'm just saying, like it's.
So you're telling me I'm poor because I'm having too many lattes. That's it. I'm having these motors, these lattes. I could be having a Ferrari right now if I would just save.
Yeah. If you stop drinking Starbucks, you'll be driving a Ferrari too.
No, watch this, Puerto Rock. I'm gonna prove my case with M.
Go ahead.
M is an audiophile. When it comes to buying receivers, amplifiers, speakers, this guy will spare no expense. I've seen what he has, so I know, right? He spares no expense. But when we got on that conversation about PS5 Pro and prices, it was a whole different ballgame because he don't.
Wait, what? I'm the guy. It should be more. What the hell? That proves your point.
No.
Yeah, I was confused because I'm like, wait a minute. Eminem's hype. He's hoping that shit costs.
Be more expensive.
Yeah, he's hoping it costs $10,000.
That's what I want. I know.
That's right.
But the value that, like, for example, we know it's just going to be a little bit more. We know it's not going to be 40, 90 and PC levels. We know that. But
we're not on that conversation. You're trying to disprove me, being like, I act all bougie about speakers, but yet I want to cheapen out on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And I just said no.
I thought you were gonna say something like he buys these $20,000 whatever, and then I call him listening to Ice Spice. What the fuck is that shit? I would have been like, wait a minute, M listens to Ice Spice? I know his ass would be like, listen, she's black, so therefore she gets my support.
Look,
that's always. So
speakers in the
He doesn't belong in Final Fantasy. I support all the guys that don't belong in Final Fantasy.
Listen, he better be listening to Yo-Yo Mind and things of the like. He better not be listening to damn Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
Oh man. No, but we all have something that
I know what you mean.
No experience on, and other things.
Yeah.
We don't perceive that value, therefore we really cheap when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm. That's a true one. I mean, I guess we all have that to a certain extent, But so I always saw the motorcycle one. To me, the motorcycle one was always the funniest. Out of all things to cheap out, I always found it funny. The helmet was what they complained about the most. Like, goddamn, this. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, isn't the helmet supposed to save your life? I would think that would be the one thing you want to make sure is premium. Like, you don't want to get your shit out the swap meet.
It's not that you're cheaping out on protection. It's just the type of helmet, the brand, whether it's Bell, whether it's just like any kind of other brand, right? There's some really expensive helmets. Some of them cost $1,000. Others cost $200. Now, obviously, if you have a Ducati, you're not going to get the $200 one, but you may get the $300 or $400 one versus the $1,000. That's just the way the value is perceived. But there's specific type of helmets. You like the graphics on it. You like the styling. Some people like a full shell. Some people like a half a shell. That is the type of stuff that they will, most people will go from. Now, if you just got a really expensive motorcycle and you just get the bottom of protection, then that's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's just crazy. But from the outside, to a lot of people, it looks like they're complaining about the price of the helmet, which they are, but it's because of the type of helmet it is. It's like, damn, they charging $500 for a half shell? Like a half a fucking helmet? Like hell no! Like a faceless. Basically, it's the model without the protection in the face part. It's just a half. It's like nah. I can go ahead and get a full, a full shoey or something like that.
Okay. All right. So, fellas, all right, man. Hey, thanks for rocking through. Hey, Messiah, what you been up to? Let's do a little quick chit chat. What you been up to, Messiah?
Yeah. Well, my end zone hit speakers came in. Gonna
Did you? Okay.
keep them lined up
Nice.
till Christmas. Bought myself a new monitor at a Best Buy on Saturday. So been on a buying splurge. So that's
That's
hooked
it.
up now. So it was for it was for the bedroom. I put the Xbox in the bedroom, so it's just hooked up to a monitor, and it's only got 250 nits on it, but it's a C something, C Samsung something. It's nice, 32 inches, so that's pretty good. And yeah, that's been about it. Playing,
Okay.
yeah. What did I play? Oh, started playing The Last of Us Part 2. Since I'm a bit low, started playing The Last of Us Part 2 again, just kind of getting a feel for the game, and getting a refill for it because I'm trying to order the WLF edition. I missed out on that last week, so hoping that I can get the WLF edition or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, the WLF, the Wolf,
it's a
the Wolf
WLF,
edition.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping to add that. I just missed it. It sold out after I was told by people that it wasn't going to sell at all. So I was told by different people nobody wanted it. So once again another lie by the community. But that's about it.
All right, brother. Oh, M dipped out. Maybe he's having technical issues. J Dub, man, what you been up to, my brother?
Been good, man. I'm traveling right now. Gonna
Where you at? Where you
back
at?
home. I'm in San Antonio, man. San Antonio, Texas, right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got your PlayStation Portal?
Hey, right now, right here with me, my brother. Right here with me. Listen, it's a must have for me. It fits my needs. I'm at the very end of Alan Wake 2. And so I done put in maybe about 10 hours exclusively on the portal. And I'm at the very, very end about to beat it. And again, I'm like 200 miles away from home in a different city in a hotel. So yeah, that's just what that is. I got Resident Evil 4
for the
on
VR.
sale, and oh yeah, specifically for VR. I already had it on Xbox, but I bought it on PlayStation, of course, for the VR. So when I get back home, tomorrow to later on tonight or whatever, I'll crank that, start that. What else? What else I've been playing, man? It's just been so many games. Yeah, it's been a lot of games. What else? Yeah, that's my main focus right now, man. Get Alan Wake 2 out. Of course, I showed my end of the year wrap ups, showing it, and all my PlayStation exclusives and the GOTY nominees and winners. I bought those games and beat those games, so it's been a good year, man. It's been a good year for gaming.
Yeah, I agree.
I think at the end of the day, I don't think we can ask for a better year than this year. It started off, we thought Hogwarts Legacy was going to be the big behemoth, and before you know it,
saw that.
at the last minute, it was like
That
6 games, 90 rated games came out at the last minute, and we was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And it left Hogwarts. Unfortunately, it left that thing in the dust. But
Hogwarts got barbecued.
Yeah, and I listen, and Hogwarts was a great fucking game. I mean, I thought it was going to be, up there, but yeah,
but outside, I think outside of the awards, I think it's the highest selling game of the year so far at last, and it's the most like search game out of all games. So in regardless of the awards, I think the studio found it monumental success with that game. Like absolute
which is
success.
you're absolutely right.
Which is the real,
crazy.
which is it just
because when you look at games like Baldur's Gate 3,
Mhm.
that I think it sold well for the studio. I think it sold 1 million or 2, or maybe we may look at that being small numbers, but for an indie title and the title of its class and caliber, and the genre that it's in, an ARPG like that, I think it did well for that. But when you look at all the other games that sold 10 million copies, 20, just numbers just blew that thing out the water. So it's subjective about what success is for a lot of these companies, right? It took them $10 million to make that game, where we know Spider-Man 2 took 100 million plus. We knew, Mario and Zelda and stuff like that probably took, 40, 50 million. Some of the other games, we know Hogwarts Legacy probably took 100 million to make. So it's all subjective, and it's really up to these companies. Of course, we can do our speculation and what we think is success, but Hogwarts Legacy, those guys at WB, they're not crying. They got all the money. They raked in all the money from this, so they got
what really counts. They got that money.
Exactly, they got the money. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. And shout out for Sony, man. They finally came out and said God of War Ragnarok sold over 16 million. Was it 15? Over 16 million. And
16?
they said,
I think it was 15.
It was over. It was they said over. So maybe I'm good. If it's 15, if it's over 15, forgive me. I stand corrected.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
But look it up. I saw the article and they said like 88% was on PS5. And I was like, 88%. But there was a lot. There's a lot of people bought that shit on PS5. And I think because Spider-Man 2 has broken PlayStation's all-time record when it comes to the fastest selling game, I think that proves that, it's great to have a large install base, but if it's a great game, that small install base can also do numbers as well, because it basically proved it.
Right. It says sells 15 million copies in first year.
Okay,
15 million.
Yeah. I stand correct. 15 million.
But that's
16 million,
yeah. That's incredible though.
For a game that came out, when did Ragnarok come out?
Just about a year ago. Just about a year ago. Just a little bit some change.
Yeah. Just a little bit,
No, that's crazy, because if you think about it, like, we were celebrating when Horizon had sold 20 million. That was in 3 years.
Yeah.
So now 15 million in one. That is
it's incredible.
It's getting to like Nintendo level of success, where
little by little
they can do 30 million in a year with some of their titles, but a lot of theirs, they get that change over time. It's just that they just keep selling, like Mario Kart, it just keeps selling every year. So it's just by the time you look back, it's been 5 years.
And it takes time to get to that point.
Yeah, some games.
Because Nintendo didn't sell games like that before. Like, their games wasn't 30 million sellers. That over time, especially Zelda. Zelda wasn't this 30, 40 million selling beast. It was never like that. No. Over time, it started becoming that, You just have to nurture your franchise. You have to just nurture it.
Yeah. But Breath of the Wild was an anomaly.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
It's because they launched it with new hardware that was so sought after. Plus, the game was a full-fledged Zelda. That, of course, it's a big franchise, but like you said, Puerto Rico, man, it never did major numbers like that. That soon they sold more copies of Breath of the Wild at that time than they had sold consoles. That means people.
Because the Switch was sold out, but they had the games in the store, so people would buy the game anyway and just wait until they're able to get. So I remember that where the game was outpacing the console. I was like, what? Yeah. But it made sense because the console was sold out for a while.
Yeah.
When it first launched.
I bought 2 copies. I bought one for the Switch and the Wii U because I knew the Wii U would be a collector's item just to have in my collection. Maybe one day, it's worth some money or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy.
What done? That's what's up. Okay. And then M is back. So what you been up to, M?
Hey, listen, guys. Watch out on those Twitter streets. There are spoilers for God of War Valhalla. So just stay away from that.
Really?
Yeah, I saw some things. I was like, bro, There was this guy, I think his name was
Story.
Only Gamer or something on Twitter, just muting immediately.
Yeah, it's just what.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, send me in the chat. Just let me know in the chat, or send me a DM. Let me know who it is.
Who it was, because I was so disappointed. I was like, are you serious? It hasn't even been like 12 hours yet, and this guy, just putting out spoilers out there. Because guess what, guys? There is a substantial story to this game. So if you were like, this is just, for the people that love, playing the game and gameplay, and there's nothing there. If you love the story, you're going to be happily surprised. I've only played it for about 2 hours or so, and there's a good amount of story. There's definitely a setup to it. There's definitely, thought behind it as to how this happened, why it happened, and there's some kind of, mystery to uncover there as to, everything around it. So I've been playing that. It's been amazing. Also put what is it? My wrap up. Yeah, my stats. Like if you guys are like, is extreme a gamer or whatever, you can find out. You can put it. So they only through the streets. Pinned link on my profile. But aside from that, play some games, enjoy. Oh, you know what I've been doing? I've been going back and getting some of those platinums that were just a few trophies away from me. So
you were just so close, so you decided to just go all the way.
Once where it's like 85% or higher, I'm just like, all right, may as well just finish this up. So I did that for Spider-Man. I did that for Horizon Forbidden West. That was a mistake. That game nearly took me away. I was like, bro, I was supposed to come in here for 2 minutes, just quickly wrap this up, and I did it in about maybe 40 minutes, and then 20 hours later, I'm still there. That game's phenomenal. So
yeah, it is.
You've got to be strategic about it, just put out all of the games that you're kind of like, yeah, I just cleaned this up, but I'm not that excited by, but leave the good ones at the end, because they might just suck you back in, and then suddenly, you find yourself doing a new game plus. But it's December, guys. It's time to, pick up some of those trophies you kind of left all over the year, maybe, some of the previous years. I think that's just the best way to end the year of gaming, rather than starting something new. Anyways, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Hey, let me start off with this chit chat. So on the screen, I have the tweet from IGN, and it's just a simple tweet, an article of here's how to cancel your Xbox Game Pass subscription. Pretty much normal, nothing else. They have, how to cancel Disney Plus, Netflix, all the subscriptions. It's a normal article. You could Google, hey, how do I cancel this? How do I cancel that plan? How did this blow up today? Like, how did this become like a topic today? Like, yo, it blew my mind that this actually blew up. And I'm looking like right now, let me see, is everybody, let me make sure everybody could see it, but okay. So like, Astro's asking how to cancel PS Plus subscription. Like that means Opera GX. Did Sony fund this article? Like canceling a canceled subscription needs to be funded by somebody. At this point, you guys aren't even being discreet about it. About what?
Yeah, I mean,
even so, how can I put it? Even I had a thing with gas, right? Let me look for my stuff for gas. This is where I was like, wait a minute, you guys are serious about this? I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Hold on a minute. I was like, wait a minute, like dudes are really pressed about this? I'm like, hold on a second. Let me look for something. Let me look at it. Okay. I got it. All right, got it. All right, so here it is. So, Gaz, he's joking. He's like, IGN being forced to write how to cancel your PlayStation Plus subscription models. I'm like, man, that was done a while ago, but you didn't notice. You know why? Because no one cried about it. I'm thinking, ain't nobody really gives a shit about this, right? Like, no one really cares about this, right? And then, this is what I found interesting. Laugh out loud. When Porterac is breaking his back to... And this is why I find... Because when people... Like, words have meanings, right? When he said defend IGN, then shit is getting super sus. The PlayStation article is a guy with a small section right at the end. The Xbox One's an entire article dedicated to canceling XBG. Come on, bro. I'm like, wait a minute. He said defend IGN. So when you defend something, that means... You're taking a stance on a decision somebody did and you're defending it. But here's the question. what's there to defend? Like, I even replied to him. I said, I show how ridiculous this whole thing is. Look at what you're saying. Defend IGN. Defend what? Nothing happened. You made yourself into a victim over nothing. Nothing happened, guys. This is a nothing burger. The only thing here is the ridiculousness brought on by the Xbox community over nothing. You literally created a victim mentality over this. Like, so when he said defend IGN, what did they do? Like, what's wrong? Can somebody explain what happened? Like, what is wrong? Like, what? And if there's something's wrong, all right. If IGN write in an article that says how to cancel Game Pass is wrong, then we need to find out, is it wrong with them when they wrote, you know, how to cancel Netflix subscription, Apple, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does it, like, if somebody even posted, here we go, Netflix, how to cancel your Apple TV Plus subscription, how to cancel your Disney Plus subscription, how to cancel your Amazon Prime membership subscription, how to cancel Netflix. So if there's something inherently wrong with an article that says how to cancel your Game Pass subscription, then that should apply to all of those. So I need somebody to explain what's wrong, like what happened. Anybody? We need some Xbox. We need some Xbox up in here. Anybody's an Xbox? Hey, somebody contact an Xbox fanboy. Tell them to come up in here, because somebody needs to explain what wrong happened. What happened?
Wrong happened, but just the fact that they're saying here's how to cancel an Xbox subscription, they're looking at it as, oh no, they're the mainstream media, which they consider IGN to be mainstream, is turning against Xbox. Even though there's other, how to cancel your Disney Plus, how to cancel your PS Plus, which all you do is go to the website and PlayStation Direct or whatever you want to call it, and you just go from there. You look up your account and you can cancel. I just changed my subscription about a month ago. So same with Xbox. You just do the same thing. You go to Microsoft, Xbox Live, whatever it's called, / and you sign in and you cancel or you change it. So it's just that I agree. They have this whole, oh, woe is me victim mentality. And it's like, it's like you said, Porter Rock, Twitter is just a cesspool. So seeing Gas say something like this doesn't shock me, because he's part of the cesspool. It is what it is.
Because I just found that funny. Gas said defend IGN. I'm thinking he used the word me defending IGN. I'm like, I'm not defending IGN because there's nothing to defend. Like, what's the defense? Like, they didn't do anything. It's an article on how to cancel a subscription plan. Now, Truck Netso, he says none of those are game services, right? So are you saying so I'm gonna ask you this. So because it's a game service is wrong, you're not allowed to make an article saying how to cancel a game service subscription? So for movies, and let's say if they made a Spotify one, music, that's okay. But gaming is separate?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
It's not that it's a game, it's the Xbox gaming service. If all they did was say, here's how you cancel your Nintendo service or your Steam, or they wouldn't say anything, because it's Xbox, and that's what this has to be said. That's what these pussies want to play on. Then they're going to, they have to say, we're being attacked, and somebody needs to try to defend this or something like that. It's just, that's who they are. It's you're right. It's a cesspool. People got to remember, Elon Musk, he turned off, he put the wall down to let people like that on, to say stupid stuff like this. And that's what you're going to see.
So look, I typed in how to cancel your PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Even Sony themselves have a thing. All right, look.
Have a video or something, don't they? Or step-by-step thing? Yeah.
There's video tutorials, Reddits, Game Rant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many places that talk about that.
Yeah.
So like, how come PlayStation community ain't freaking out? Like, look at all this stuff. Digital Trends.
Yeah, everybody cancels a subscription or
The
changes.
Gamer. Business Insider.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna speak for the Xbox community, right? I'm gonna be the even keel on the show for
I was
right
an
now.
Xbox owner, right?
Yeah. Well, former Xbox owner,
He
right?
said, "For
Former
you,
Xbox
yeah, you
owner.
got rid of yours." He's like, "I'm
I
just
got rid
done."
of, I literally don't own an Xbox right now, but think about it though. If you deep down know that your console basically is failing and going away, you're ultra sensitive in this day and era about everything. You've
Yeah.
created this narrative of Xbox tax, meaning that your platform is the reason it's performing horribly around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world, is because there's some hidden bias that says it's the media's fault because they're only portraying negative information, meaning, everything about Xbox that's negative is someone else's fault. It's not Phil Spencer's fault. It's not Xbox's fault. It's not even Xbox owners' fault for not buying the games and not buying the consoles. It's somebody else's fault. And that's just what it is. It's hypersensitive sensitivity to the fact that the platform is failing. And when I say failing, it's to the mainstream crowd and to everybody else, because they'll say, "Well, Game Pass is making money, and that's all that matters," or Xbox is making money, and they'll move the goalposts or whatever. But when it comes to straight out sales, when it comes to straight out signing up for subscriptions and everything of the above, all of it is failing, and all of it has missed its benchmarks, and it's been like that for years. And they see the writing on the wall. That's why when Xbox's CFO come out and say that he's going to put their plan, they've changed their strategy, and their plan is to put everything, all their games and services on even rival platforms, once former rival platforms such as PlayStation, Nintendo. These dudes, they get triggered, they go out there and they create these articles saying, well, such and such has interviewed Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer is saying the opposite. So you mean to tell me this billion-dollar corporation, actually trillion-dollar, multi-trillion-dollar corporation, CFO and president aren't on the same page? Or you mean to tell me they got two different strategies and they're working towards two different strategies? One is trying to make the hardware go away and put games everywhere, and then the other person is trying to support the hardware and make new hardware and keep the games exclusive. I mean, these guys are mental cases right now, and I wish there was a psychologist out there that could do a case study on the Xbox community on this day and age and how they're acting right now. Because we're gonna look back 5-10 years from now, and we're gonna see once Xbox is gone away, we're gonna see how we got to that point, and we're gonna be able to pinpoint that right here, December 2023, when these guys start going crazy because someone wrote an article showing how to unsubscribe for a service, and they went fucking batshit crazy. That was the day and age when the last days of Xbox existed.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. It's the recognition that the media is against them, and the reason why nobody, they're being outsold 7-1 or 8-1, whatever that number is, give or take. They're being outsold, and so they'll say, like J-Dub was saying, they'll say, "Oh well, the sales don't matter. That's not the way Microsoft, determine success." But you have to buy into their ecosystem, so you have to enter it at some point by buying something that they have so you can sign up, and that's what's failing miserably. So it's, oh well, they put this out, and even though Porter Rock, you brought up a good point, they put it out about everything, so why not show you how to cancel Xbox Live, or why not, PlayStation Plus, or like you said, Apple TV, or Netflix. But it's a group of sensitive this kids. I mean, I don't know how else to describe. These are kids that have that system. And I mean, I say that because there's people at work that I work with. They're trying. They went and got Xboxes for their children. So it's this who they are. It's unfortunate, but they're all over Twitter because Twitter is a cesspool for these people now. So it is what it is.
I mean, let's face it, guys. Xbox are like the short guy with the, victim complex, except he's a jerk, like a complete asshole. So every single time that you tell him that, hey, people reject you, whether they are men or women, because you're a jerk, he says, no, it's because I'm short. And it's like, yes, you're short, okay? That is, to many people a disadvantage. That does limit your reach. But there's also the fact that you are a complete jerk and you bring nothing to the table where it counts. And that's what Xbox is. They have a short, small user base, okay? And they always pretend that we're picking on them because they are not the most popular kid in town. But then you tell them, no, listen, you don't have the games. You don't even have the personality of something that is worth interacting with. But every single time, it just comes back to the same thing. Oh, you are picking on Xbox because they are Xbox. And you are bigging up the other two because they happen to be taller and bigger than them and more popular than them. And it's like, yes, those things help, but you're a complete jerk and you bring nothing worth to the table. But no, victim complex. The brain is here. Let him talk.
So I'm looking at some of the comments. Like, for example, why though? It's the best deal in gaming. Well, they didn't tell you to. They didn't tell you to. They didn't know, but they didn't tell him to subscribe. They're just giving instructions if you do. This guy.
Well, it being the best deal. That's subjective.
But that's fine.
The best deal is subjective.
Yeah, but if he feels it's the best deal, but if it's the best deal for him, then stay. No one's telling him to get off it.
Exactly.
IGN's not telling anyone what to do. This one. Yeah. Why does this article even exist? For people who want to know how to unsubscribe from Game Pass.
Exactly.
No,
but Ilm's right. They're so small-minded. They think that because they think it's the best deal in gaming, therefore everybody must understand it's the best deal in gaming. It is subjective. If they don't have anything you want, how is it the best deal? If Best Buy doesn't have anything you want, how is it a Best Buy? They don't have nothing you want. So Amazon's the same way. You cancel your Amazon subscription, you go there, you go to the account. I'm not paying for this no more. So the problem is because they think it's good. This goes back to their childhood and the way they were raised. They were never told no. Even though they lost, like Ilm said, they still got a trophy. They never learned how to lose. Like Thanos said to the Avengers, in time you will learn what it is to lose. They never learned how to lose. So Xbox is the best deal in gaming. Well, because that's what they say. Not that it's subjective, but they don't understand the word subjective. They don't. I see it when I've seen it on Twitter. It's like talking about a movie. I think Oppenheimer's the best Nolan movie I've seen. Oh, but somebody will get on there and say, "No, it's not. It's Batman," or "No, it's not. It's this." Like, okay, well, I'm just giving you my subjective opinion, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that society has gotten to the point. The human condition has gotten to the point where you can't even just have a conversation based on your subjective opinion. It's crazy.
Game Pass gamers comments. It's like you just decided to embrace the HBOC hatred. So instructions on how to cancel subscription service is bad now? We were supposed to keep people in the dark?
Yeah. I guess. I mean, because it's the best deal in gaming. Why would you want to cancel it?
So we're trying to force people to stay on Game Pass?
Yeah, you force them. Well, we're not going to tell
them. And they can't leave? What are these guys think that's Sonny from Bronx Tale? You can't leave? Like, what are you doing here?
You can't. What he said now.
These guys think that's Sonny from Bronx Tale. Craig knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, that was a great line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
he's
what did he do? He would lock the door now.
Yeah, he locked the door. No, you can't leave. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the movie A Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
The bikers went in his bar and they try to get out. He's like, he closed the door. You can't leave.
Yeah, he asked him to leave, and then he's like,
Sonny from Bronx Tale, you can't leave. Like these guys These guys think they're sunny.
Fantastic film. That was a fantastic film.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah, they think they're the mafia. Yo, once you in, you're in for life. There's only one way out of Game Pass, and that's death. Like, yo, shout out to the brain. He says the ardeness. I can't say the word, I guess, on YouTube. I guess that's one of those flag words. But the ardeness, I'll say that way, from the machine learning. Yo, but I'm looking at the comments, and it's like an insane amount of comments. That's like, and why would I be doing that? Yes, Halo King, because IGN clearly is talking to specifically you, and they told you to unsubscribe. Like, do you not know what a set of instructions are? If you don't want to use it, don't use it. Like, this shit is why, and people think I'm bugging out when I say that these dudes are concubines, that these are cultist behavior.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't understand that you don't have to do something. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's they don't understand that. So it's just
Craig, you're wrong about that. They do understand that. It's just that they believe that Game Pass is legitimately the only strength they have. Like, legitimately, they believe this is the only thing they have to offer. And now you even suggesting that anybody should cancel or anyone would think about canceling is saying that, hey, this thing is not valid. And as soon as you attack that, I'm telling you, it's a victim mentality. It's like a short guy with money. As soon as the short guy with money hears anyone, even a passerby, just say, hey, listen, dating the absolutely wealthy may not be the best thing for everyone. He's just going to go off on them. It's like, bro, no one was talking about you. You just heard a person talking, conversation, having their own private little discussion, and suddenly you want to come in there and be like, how dare you? Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. They should get rid of the cancel button.
Once you're in, it's a lifetime contract. You are obligated to pay for it. Hey, what the hell is you talking about?
Yeah, what they do in the Spider-Man game, the cult, that fire cult, putting brands on people. They doing the same thing.
Tell you, man. Every day something new with these cats, bro. Like, for real. Anyway, let's get to the next topic, bro. Because that they hit a new low. Like Xbox, man. We were so close to the end of 2023, and you just find a way to look stupid. Like, for the dumbest shit ever. Dumbest shit. Like, that was just dumb. Like, you talk about a self-inflicted wound. Wow. For doing that dumb shit. All right. Anyway, let's go on to the next topic. So, yeah, we're gonna talk Extreme's favorite topic. PS5 Pro, right? So we got some leaked specs, right? But now listen, this is not the RPX. We're not the real deal PlayStation. We're not RDP, all right? We're not real deal PlayStation podcast. Listen, we're not gonna fraud here. We're gonna mention the specs. Nobody in this goddamn podcast can tell you what performance you're gonna get from these specs. But what I want to talk about is, and I think we may have talked about it before, but we got new members, we got new people. I think over time we could clarify our statements. Maybe this gives us an idea of what we could realistically expect of what we want out of the systems. But so far, the leak specs is CPU 4 nanometers AMD Zen 2. 8-core 16 threads, 4.4 gigahertz of variable, so I guess they're going with their variable bullshit again. GPU, AMD Radeon Custom RDNA 3, 56 to 60 CUs. Boy, Craig, you got a lot of CUs to be finding.
Oh, my God.
My God, so you got another. So now we went from 52 CUs. You got to look for 56. You ain't even found the 52 yet. 2 gigahertz to 2.5 gigahertz variable. 14 to 29 T-flops. Now, people are asking how come it's not a solid number. It's because, again, since it's variable frequencies, it could go as low as 14 T-flops, and at max capacity for both CPU and GPU, get 29 T-flops. But again, this is all conjecture, right? 2 times hardware ray tracing acceleration, RAM 16 gigabits at GDR6 unified, with 576 gigabytes gigabytes of memory bandwidth on a 256-bit bus. Storage 2 terabytes. Still the same, 5.5 gigabytes. Various ports, a gig Ethernet, Bluetooth 5.3, and accelerator, custom AI accelerator based on XDNA 2 NPU, whatever the fuck that means, right? So we're not gonna bullshit. We're not D-batch. We don't got D-batch here. We're all not gonna pretend for D-batch, right? But what I think is what we would like this console to actually do, Like, how can we actually? What do you think? And I'll start with Craig. But the question is this, right? What do you think this console should reasonably do to actually be successful? Not from a sales perspective, from actually people can say, okay, I see the reason for the Pro as compared to my PS5. Yep, I get it now. What do you think they should be able to do?
If those specs are true, and I don't think they are, because there's no way they're going to give out speeds, at this point. But okay, let's just say they are. That is going to give you better ray tracing, and give you better graphics. That's what is there. That's all they're saying. Better ray tracing, better more overhead to get off the 30 line with the ray tracing. You'll be on the 60 line with ray tracing. So and better graphics, because you're already in high to ultra at this point with your PS5. I get it. People don't believe that, even though NX Gamer, who is not working for Digital Foundry, has gone on record saying everything from Death Stranding to other games are running high to ultra graphic settings. So maybe just strictly be in the ultra setting realm. And there's not a ton difference between ultra and high. There's some, like you may see it with the clouds or with the water and all that kind of stuff, but there's just not enough there on games that I have seen. Let me make that is subjective. Somebody else may say there's a huge difference, but I have not seen a difference in high to ultra. I mean, you look at a game like the Spider-Man game, if you have the proper monitor or TV, you may have, if they may be running at 90 or 85 or something like that, and it has ray tracing. So so it just you may start at a higher resolution. So instead of starting at, I think Spider-Man's with 1440p and it's variable, goes to 4K. Well, now it may start at 1890p and still be dynamic, or it may just lock at 4K and stuff like that. Or like we got the Unreal demo 3 years ago. That game that was at 6K, and they brought it into the 4K realm. Or 1440p. I think they spun it down. So this downsampled, or whatever you want to call it, super sampling. But based on what's there, and I'm landing the plane now. Based on what you just read, if it's true, better ray tracing and better graphics. That's what they sound like based on what they're saying. So I have to wait and see if it's true or not.
Okay, all right. How about you? We'll go with you, J-Dub. Just your own personal thing of what you feel the PS5 Pro realistically should be able to do and bring to the table, so that way people can actually say, okay, we get the Pro for this generation. Yeah. Given how well the PS5 is doing.
Well, I just posted something in general. If you can you post that on the screen? Because that'll be that may be a better fit for the crowd. It's in general.
What did you in general? All right, let me see.
Yeah.
Don't be putting up no porn.
No, not this time. Not this time. I learned a lesson. Yeah. Well, this may, I guess, shine a little bit light, because some people don't know the specs of the regular PS5. So we can look at the PS5 and the PS5 Pro side by side to be able to make a comparison.
That's actually a good idea. Yeah, that's a real good idea.
Yeah, but we don't know what the hell we looking at. All we know is numbers are bigger. Man, stop for it. Listen, we are not RDP.
No, you're not doing that.
We ain't D-batch. We ain't D-batch. We ain't gonna lead-batch it. We ain't gonna lead-batch it. Yeah, but based on these specs that I'm seeing, right? You're gonna get a nice boost, 900 megahertz boost. From the CPU. Obviously, they're not gonna change, but of course, it's a lower power requirement because it's a smaller chip. It's a 4 nanometer instead of a 7 nanometer. So that's more power efficiency. So that means you can run the same clocks and the same speed, but at less wattage being used. Meaning you can ramp up the clocks and you can use stuff for more efficiency. So the system may not be this big giant refrigerator thing that we think it could possibly be, because when you shrink things smaller, the less heat it extracts. So just going off the CPU and the GPU, I think that's the telltale sign, and that's the biggest difference between the two is that GPU. We're gonna receive some RDNA 3 features, assuming right some RDNA 3 features that we don't have on the PS5. The clocks a little bit higher in clocks, but like you said before, Puerto Rock, it's about the CUs. How developers can use all of those CUs, and if they can, then I mean we know Sony's first party studios. They're wizards at doing more with less. So imagine what they did. They were able to slate a 12 T-flop beast with 9 T-flops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine what they're gonna do with 29 T-flops. I mean, that's gonna be crazy. You know, if this is accurate. So we already know through patents and stuff that Mark Cerny filed that they're working on a dedicated ray tracing, so you don't have to try to brute force it using the CUs and the shaders. You can it's dedicated its own 2-speed hardware accelerator, which is custom by Mark Cerny. So it's custom. It's not just off the shelf. It's not something that AMD is providing. It's something that Sony is providing. Of course, AMD will build it inside of that. Memory pretty much stays the same. They just made the speed faster, so you got more throughput there, which makes sense. Same SSD, just a bigger speed. The latest, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, like Craig said. And another thing is a custom AI accelerator. What the hell?
What is that about?
I don't know, but
you know what? At least you honest. At least you honest. I don't fucking know. At least we honest. We honest. You extreme. You gonna explain it?
No, I don't want an explanation. I'm saying all of these are make believe. I don't even want to speculate on these specs. Like none of these things impress me. All of it is guessing. I'm just gonna let the brain go. I'm gonna let the brain go first because I don't know. You guys are all dreaming.
He said, you guys are all dreaming.
Looking at it, there's no way they're gonna have it on the
quantum driving there. Go ahead.
Quantum processing.
Quantum processing. Yes.
The brain's up in here.
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on?
All right, we'll go with you, bro. What do you think? Me, I'm going after expectations, but if you want to talk tech, you can. I'm just saying I don't know shit about it, so I'm not gonna fraud and lie to the audience. When it's my turn to talk, I'm just gonna say what I would like to see from the Pro. But what you got on this, brain? You the brain, so you can't call yourself the brain and then act dumb.
Exactly.
Yeah. How you gonna call yourself the brain?
I mean, I wasn't going to waste any brain cells, adding into that past conversation about the whole IGN and the
we're not doing that. They're just emotional. They just. But what about this?
It's a hard word that you can't use. But as far as with this, I'm actually leaning towards a combination of what Craig stated, as far as just getting higher graphics. And in addition, getting better and more ray tracing, because clearly that's what is showing on paper. But also, I'm gonna lower my expectations as well too, because of this is just too reminiscent of the PS4 Pro, and I bought the PS4 Pro as soon as it came out. The only thing that I expect from this, besides to add on to what Craig stated, was I don't think you can ever have enough power for VR. And again, going back to the PS4 Pro, one of the things that I thought that did, or at least apparently that it did better to me, was the fact that playing on VR, it wasn't as pixelated as playing on a regular PlayStation 4, and of course, being able to take advantage of the 4K televisions. But as far as what I expect, besides better graphics at or higher frame rates at a higher fidelity, because now we're also that Craig also alluded to was with the super sampling or the upsampling, either with FSR or the or temporal. To me, that was supposed to be like a what's the word I'm looking for? Those were supposed to be supplemental, but I think those are actually being used as a crutch to actually to push game, to actually push game forward, which is actually doing the opposite from my end. But yeah, I'm gonna just lower my expectations, and I'm gonna wait until I actually see real world results, just because of M kind of hit upon this last week, and I didn't join, but PS4 Pro was a bit of a disappointment, just because of the fact that not so much because of Sony first party, because Sony first party that actually you utilize it correctly. It was everybody else that didn't utilize it correctly. And then once you start talking about the 8.4 teraflops at the with the what was you call that, the 16 floating points or whatever the hell it was called. It's like, yeah, that's not. I don't want to hear all of that.
32.
So,
yeah,
32 versus 16. But I just say all of that to say that I'm just wait until I see more, because all of this, as far as I'm concerned, this is just numbers, and even with the exception of the of the GPU and the accelerator and even the CPU at a certain extent. To me, I really don't see that much of a difference at all. I mean, I'm looking at the RAM, and to me, it's like with all of this power, is all of that power, is the RAM bus actually enough? Is it enough, and is it enough memory bandwidth to actually utilize the PS5 Pro, to its fullest extent? Of course, I know that Sony first party would do it, but what about everybody else? And if anything that gaming has shown me since the Xbox 360 days is that you always code and you make games to the lowest common denominator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
First of all, I like the brain. Yeah. No, go ahead, quick. I don't want to.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, first things first. Look, it's fake. That's the first thing you can see. I mean, why would they build on a 4 nanometer chip when they can do all this on a 5 nanometer chip? Why would they have like J-Dub, like he said, the PlayStation now has 2.23 gigahertz variable. Why even start lower at 2? So I mean, it's in 14 to 29 teraflops. That could be performance based, but my understanding of the next PlayStation is it's going to be around 16 to 16.6 teraflops to get what they want. They can get what they want. They're getting what they're getting now on 10. So they add 6 to 6 point something more, they'll be fine. But the 2 terabyte storage possibly, but look at the gigabytes of the SSD. They don't change it. Like, it just stays the same. So it's like I said.
Well, the IO is built in. You can't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't, but there's no need to change that, because all the games still have to be backwards compatible and stuff like that. So something you can't change without breaking others. So keep that in mind.
It was a true half step. The clocks. That's what I'm saying. I just think the clocks are kind of like, well, why would they give out clock speed? Well, and I understand what they were saying long term, where they were like, well, they gave the dev kits out, and now they were expecting somebody to get a loose lip, which makes sense, from a certain point of view. But I personally think it's fake. Already. Yeah, I think they do. Well, I do think some devs do have kids, but I think the first party guys have them. But that's just my opinion. And all this is all like I'm saying. None of this is real because Sony hasn't confirmed any of this. So, and I agree with that 100%. So, but let
me get on my soapbox here. Listen. First of all, you guys discussing any of this fake ass shit, I don't even know why. Don't even look at that table. That thing is a fictitious lie. It is just a bunch of specs that sound reasonable in people's heads. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about them. This is just disgusting. I hate this. And the reason I hate this is because I use a Sony camera, right? Photographer here. This happens in every single thing. Like, they come up with these specs that are just magical. They sound so plausible. And then when you finally get the product in your hand, it is, if you are lucky, it is 20% of what they say it will be. So you guys just put all of this. He said 20%. He said if you're lucky. I am telling you.
The specs are going to be worse than the PS5.
Listen, all of these specs out of your mind. Don't even hold. Is it going to be 14 T-flops, 16, 19.5? Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter. Okay, it is what it's going to be, and it's probably going to be non-existent. Okay, let's face it. Nobody has confirmed this thing is coming. So the point is this. Okay,
it's
first
coming,
of all,
listen, it's coming. This song is coming. It's coming. I gave up after the portal. I'm like, yep, I give up. Y'all won. The leakers won.
The point in front of me, it's not real. Okay, that motherfucker back there.
I don't think it's real. I don't think it's real.
We're not gonna argue.
Not the specs. Not the specs. The PS5 Pro is real. It's coming.
Throw them out the window. Okay, just throw them out the window. Third, okay, let's talk about what we wanted because that was the original question. I'm so tired of this spec talk. I want 4K 120. I don't care how they do it. They can do what they need to do. I don't see tempo resolution. I don't see checkerboard resolution. I don't even see native resolution. All I see is resolution. I don't care if you started at 140p and then you upscale it. As long as it looks good, I don't give a fuck. Okay? And I want 120 frames, at least in performance mode. I will accept anything greater than 100 frames. I'll be generous. I'll give you 20 frames on the house, okay? You don't have to quite hit 120 frames every time. But on performance mode, we need to hit 4K 100 FPS. Now, ray tracing, it will be nice. I don't think that ray tracing turned out to be the magical panacea that people thought it was going to be, okay? There are many games that do not have ray tracing that look phenomenal. I'm pretty sure Horizon Forbidden West doesn't actually use ray tracing as a lighting technique. So the point is this.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I don't need it to say ray tracing on every single game, okay? And then the last thing I'm going to say is that I expect this high standard from Sony first party. They are the ones that are actually tasked with fulfilling the promise of the box. And since my PlayStation 5 says 4K 120, again, I just want to say to everybody that keeps giving me pushback on this, I didn't create that. I didn't put it on the box. I never thought it should be a marketing point. But Sony put it on the box, and the first box didn't quite hit it. So the second box should. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, last thing I want to say, J-Dub, listen, I like my women tall and thick, so never disrespect the original PlayStation 5, okay? You know, that thing, it's essential. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm done.
I hear you,
bro. Yo, for me, I'm gonna keep it simple. Yeah, no problem, brother. I'm just gonna keep it simple. For me, a win for the PS5 Pro, for me personally, just simply something Craig touched on, better graphics. I don't really care about the native 4K because even the 4090 people are hyping and they just find the DLSS amazing. And keep in mind, that's on a 4090. Like, you're paying $2,000 for that thing and people are using DLSS, whatever. So the trickery behind fake 4K, tempo injection, all that stuff, that's really just clarity. What would really impress me is getting consistent ultra quality graphics. Toggle every setting all the way to the right. Max quality graphics and default 60 frames. No more 30. The Pro is not about that 30 life. There is no quality mode 30, performance mode 60. For me, the base FPS 60, and then if you want to talk performance mode, 100 plus frames. That's it. Those are your options. 60 at a minimum, and then above that, now you're talking 100 frames and all that other stuff. To me, that's it.
I disagree.
To be fair, all of Sony games are a minimum of 60.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking base. No, base.
No, listen. All of them, right, has the 60 in there, have 60 frames a second in their game, right? All of them, all of Sony's first party games offer 60 and 120 options.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They offer, but the base default option is the 30. No more of that 30 stuff.
Okay.
Default. That's what I mean. The default option is.
I see what you're saying.
Default option is 60. Max settings, right from the get go. From the get go.
Okay, so here's the problem. Let's say all of Sony's first party games does that 60 minimum, 120 in every single game. We're still going to be in the same place where we are right now with all of these third-party games still doing 30. They still do whatever the hell they want, right? Even some games that are not even graphically demanding. These developers, and this is why, thank God we do have Sony first-party games actually showcasing the hardware, because if it was up to third-party, they're not going to do it at all because not saying that they lazy, but a lot of them, they go for the least common denominator, right? Which is they don't want to go up and do. I mean, that's just. So we got GTA 6 coming, right? Everybody's like, oh, I want to play it in 60. It better have 60. But guess what?
I think it will.
But look at this though. Because Sony puts in the extra effort to give you 60 by enabling, H8 high frame rates and VR. Yes. And all that trickery, right? Developers are not doing that because that's extra time and money. And again, third party, you're right. Third party they're not going to put in the extra effort because one is not their console. Sony decided to make it that way. So they're just going to go with the nominal whatever they do across every platform. Obviously, PC got more options, better hardware. But if your console is built to do 60, that's not trickery.
No,
we made we made it to where games can run at 60. So then I think developers are gonna make their games run at 60 because that's what the console does. And I think that's a little bit different than the PS5, where in order to get 60, you got to implement these features, and for some people, it's a time constraint. Like, we're not going to implement a unique feature the PS5 does that the Xbox doesn't. It's not in their best interest.
How do you explain the Xbox Series X? It has 12p flop. On paper, it has way more power than the PlayStation 5, and yet does less performance than the PS5. That's from third party.
Yeah, but remember, PS3 was designed spec wise more powerful than Xbox 360. Yet the majority of the games ran better on 360 because it was easier.
Because it was easier to develop.
It was easier to develop. And the only people that actually showed the true power of the PS3 was first party because they don't have a choice. It's your job. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's one thing you got to remember about the third party developers. It is not their job to make the PS5 look good. Sony has to do that. Sony has to say, hey, let's create the best, easiest possible console so you could get the best performance and do it easier, because we know you're not going to put in the extra effort for the other stuff unless we maybe have some type of deal, exclusivity, things like that. Yeah. If Sony makes a PS5 Pro and the developers get it and they be like, oh shit, our game runs on 60. Game's going to run on 60. They're not going to purposely be like, oh shit, our games run on 60, but fuck PS5 Pro players, we dropping that shit down to 30. Why? Because we can. They're not going to do that. If the console could easily run their games at 60, they're going to have their games run on 60. That's not going to be a problem for them. But they're not going to do nothing special to get it to 60. It needs to do it. It's on its own, for the most part.
Teraflops are a terrible way of measuring power. It's a megapixels in the camera. Like if people that don't know cameras, they always think, I just want the highest megapixel count.
It's like the lens, right?
That means nothing for image quality. The lens matters a lot, but even if you have the same lens and then different processors, different sensors, it's going to make a huge difference. There's many times the camera is upgraded, same sensor, better processor, way better images, just because of that. So I imagine the same is true for consoles. Mark Sony already told us, but it's like people keep bringing out these numbers, and I'm like, they're useless. They're just decoration for the people that don't know.
That's why for me, that's why
right. He was right about that.
Yeah. Go ahead. My bad. Quick, go finish.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say because I'm about to get out of here. I agree with him. These specs are not. They're not real. And to take it further back than that, until Sony announces something, it's all just talk. However, I do agree with J-Dub when he said there's dev kits in the win. I think that is true. I just don't think these are the specs. Okay, this is not. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. Forget about what I've been told. So I agree here. It's not real, so it's just kind of fun to talk about. But I do agree that if anybody's going to get these dev kits early, it would be somebody like a Rockstar, somebody like a Square Enix. So the gist of the article of it leaking out makes sense. I'm personally, based on what I know, don't think these numbers are real because you do not put out clock speeds this early. You just don't. Not when you are possibly a year away. And I'm saying possibly. Let's just say they are 1 year away. Their clock speeds come on. I mean, no way. Not
so if you do the math, right? CUs, was it CUs?
Yeah.
Divided by whatever, I forgot. Mark certainly did the thing where he did the math. Yeah, he put the formula, so anybody could calculate the clock speeds based on the information that's in that thing. Even if there was a question mark there, Digital Foundry would just go and say, okay, here's the CUs, here's the frequency, you just multiply that or whatever, and you get this. So I don't think that's that's out of the ordinary.
Well, I think the problem is
the way you calculate it is correct. My question is, and this is
are any of the numbers
are these numbers correct? Yeah,
any of them.
They may not. They may not.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah,
We're just
that's all I'm
talking
saying.
based
Yeah, I
on
got
the
you.
information that's give to us
Came out.
from the leaks on the screen,
Yeah.
right? Just like
Speculation.
Digital Foundry.
Complete
Yeah,
fabrication.
Digital
Not
Foundry.
information.
Digital Foundry took these leaks and they did a video on it and they discussed it and stuff. It's okay to discuss stuff that may or may
But
not
remember,
be there.
so we have a good point because we
We do it
because
every
we
day. We do it every day with all of these rumors and leaks.
because we did the same. But remember, we did
anyway.
yeah we did the same thing with the PS5 and all of it was wrong. People said 9.2, that was wrong. People said 13.3, that was wrong.
They said
15, people said 11.3, that was wrong. Nobody said the 10.3 variable. That was not. Nobody had that right. Everybody was wrong when Sony officially announced that their stuff is going to be variable, and then that just opened up a whole new Pandora's box on that system, stuff like that. But the only thing I would say is I think in general, regardless of the specs, the Pro is real. Yeah. Because remember, like I said, there's way too many indicators that now people are double downing the launch of dev kits getting out in the wild, right? Because now you're making statements that other people could discredit. Remember, in fact, Extreme. This was maybe like a year ago. Remember we were talking on this podcast that a lot of the leakers, they're not saying statements that somebody could discredit. Because you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They just make general statements, but nobody can hold them to them because it's impossible. Now, somebody could call out these statements. Now, like if now people are saying, hey, dev kits are getting out to third parties. Somebody else with connections could come and say, bullshit, there is no new dev kits coming out to third party. Because I got connections among third party. And they said there's nothing there. Sony's not doing anything. So now the opportunity to call somebody out is open. Now the opportunity is there to call bullshit. Because other people have connections with third party. Somebody could say, I got friends in third party. Hey, people. Hey, I'm just going to let you know there's no dev kits with third party. So all these lies is not. But nobody's doing that.
But here's the new trickiness. Yeah. Anybody that would have that information wouldn't be able to say anything about that information. You know, like, yes, if there's truly nothing, they might be able to say something. But if Sony is even flirting around with, let's say it's not a PlayStation 5 Pro dev kit, let's say that it is a box where they are testing like the next future iterations of the console. You know, so let's say that testing out different renditions of PlayStation 6 and be like, hey, what do you think about this prototype? What do you think about that prototype? Now, let's say even if who's a person that we would respect? A Jason Schreier. A Jason Schreier is like, okay, so Square Enix doesn't have a PlayStation 5 Pro dev kit, but they have some kind of prototype from Sony for the next gen console. Now he can't say shit because he can't just be like, hey, no, actually, it's the next thing. It's for the next one up after that.
They probably can't go deeper into explanation. They could just simply say, yeah, Sony don't have PS5 Pro dev kits. That's not out. No one has that.
But then what if he's thinking that prototype could be turned into a PlayStation 5 Pro? You get what I mean? Like there must be some kind of like gray period where they're like, okay, this could go one way or the other. Like they could take these specs and be like, okay, we're gonna repackage it as a mid-gen cycle. Or they could be like, nah, fuck it. We're just going to put it into the next one. So that's why I'm so skeptical about these things, guys. But I don't want to get back into it. You guys want this to... One thing I did want to say is this. The graphic that you have up there, it looks like the PlayStation 5... Okay, the PlayStation...
No, that's just people. That's just people doing stupid shit.
I know that's... No, it just sparked the conversation. Like, it looks like it's going to take an SD card, right? Because it photoshopped out most of this. My question is this. Does the next version of the PlayStation need to necessarily be based on CD? Because we all know that the CD does nothing once you have it in the PlayStation. Other than...
What do you mean, the DVD?
So for me, I'm like, are they going to change
the drive
into like an SD card? That thing?
You think go all
what are you talking about?
Digital, because it's only the physical thing, right?
You mean the disc drive?
Does it need to be a CD anymore? Because you think about the CD.
What are you talking about?
Space consume. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Do you see how the disc drive has been photoshopped to be smaller?
Okay, right? that little
I'm
slot.
Saying the PlayStation 6, it will have some kind of physical media, but does that need to be a disc anymore?
Yeah.
Or are we going to move back into an area where they might sell you the game on an SD card, like a fast SD card, and you just put that in?
Why would they do
Nah,
that?
that proprietary shit is out the door. Sony.
Yeah, but why would they do that on a console?
If they got rid of the disc, then they wouldn't have backwards compatibility. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was just
So that's one. Yeah, one, you want to have backwards compatibility, but why would you put games on an SD card for a console?
Yeah, why would?
Because an SD card can be faster than a disc to read. And it doesn't make any noise when you are reading it. Remember how one of the complaints is how loud the disc drive is in the actual console? Doesn't really matter for most of your playtime. But if you have
but now the games aren't run on disc though, so you hardly hear it because the disc now.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know,
all those days are gone.
Advantage to change to a card because there's no noise whatsoever.
Yeah, like now. That would just be more. That would just be more. And plus, putting the game on a cartridge is more expensive than a disc. Disc is pennies to the dollars. It's just pennies.
I think they'll just do it for backwards compatibility. I think they'll just be like that.
Also,
if we go rid of it.
But even if you switch to medium, that would make the game more expensive. Putting a game on a cartridge, like on a memory over a disc. Disc are pennies.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, let's talk about.
Because then you gotta invest in the high speed.
Yeah, that's but the games runs on SSD, so like for a handheld, that makes sense because it's portable.
Yeah,
you're not gonna have a big ass Blu-ray disc on a handheld. Look at these dudes, yo. What's up with these dudes? These dudes say, yo, our game came out, people bought it, yo, we closing down. Yo, what's up with this?
You know what? This is
what happened? Yo, these dudes, they be watching my podcast. They literally say grand opening, grand closing. They took that shit literally, bro. They say, yo, we know you were waiting for our game. It is released. Go buy that shit. People bought it. Hey, yo, we got to close down our studio.
All right. So let me give y'all the rundown, right? I'm as a PC game. Let me give you the rundown of the whole story.
Yo, these dudes said grand opening, grand closing. Yo, I never see. Yo, that shit was true to like. I'm gonna make my T-shirts called Fntastic. That's just gonna be my slogan.
Let me explain to you the situation.
Yo, that's gonna be my slogan. This shit is fantastic. Yo, I'm gonna open up a Patreon. I'm gonna be like, yo, sign up to my new Patreon. 5 days later, yo, I got shut down the Patreon. I'm done content creating. You guys take care. Grand opening, grand closing.
So this guy on Twitter that did it, Nibel, he did the same thing. Nabillion or something?
Oh, man. I know you're talking about. Oh, no, he shut down his Twitter because he wasn't making enough money.
No, he showed his Patreon too. It was only like a month after he was like, nah, fuck this. It's not working.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I'm not making enough money.
Yeah, there you go. So
he didn't even give it enough chance. He didn't even give it a chance.
It was like a month or two.
Like 2 weeks. That dude like, oh, I ain't getting 100K in 2 weeks. I'm done. I'm like, what, bro?
Let me give.
Anyway, give us the breakdown, J-Dub.
So, about 2 years ago, from what I remember, it was 2 years ago. They showed this trailer the day before. The trailer looked amazing. It looked, it wasn't like The Last of Us, but it just
the day before we bounce on your ass,
right? The day before. So these dudes basically they didn't have a development team. They would use freelancers, people who could work for free. I mean, on their spare time to build this game, and it was building it up. And once more details came out about it, these guys used this game did a whole prop night thing, and that was successful for a game that they made.
I can't stop laughing.
I know, but just like it's gonna you're gonna know exactly why this shit turned out to be the way it was.
These guys have balls.
So that prop night was successful. So these guys ended up advertising for other things, a new way of developing. It was crowd developed, like you heard of crowdfunding. It was crowd developed. Please spare your spare time and help make this game. We're going to do this, this, and this. So these people literally didn't get paid. So the game was about to release after showing this great trailer. And then they showed one more trailer and the graphics looked downgraded. Everything just looked downgraded. It looked like they were using Unreal Engine. Like the base platform, the assets and stuff was straight. Nothing was custom. It was like, okay, I want this, like off the shelf parts. Then the game ended up looking like Fortnite from the trailer they showed. And people was like, wait, that original trailer you showed us looked amazing. What happened to that game?
So thieves.
So then all the PC dudes, were all the who's of who, started digging deeper into this because, believe me or not, but this game was the most wishlist game on Steam ever. The most wishlist game on Steam ever. And so it shot straight to number one. I mean, everything was going good based on the outlook, but then the story started breaking apart once they showed the second trailer because the game was supposed to release and it got delayed. And so it's like, oh shit, we know what this is. It's getting delayed. Okay, fine. We'll give you a little bit more time. Time goes on. People start asking questions. Why you guys haven't talked about this game? What's going on with this game? What's going on with that? Well, we found out they started trying to look for more funding. So they found a company called Mytoma or something like that. I believe that's what it's called. And so they had a little reputation behind them. So that made everybody like, okay, well, they secured some funding. Everything is good. Well, come to find out, they didn't even secure the rights to the name the day before. Some guy filed a patent for that name or basically bought the name. And so they had to change the name of the game. And so that was it's like your game is about to release. You haven't even secured the name, the patent to the name of your game. Like, what the hell is going on?
That motherfucker.
So
goddamn PC nerds, bro.
Yes,
yes. A PC Steve nerd.
Unraveling. So everybody's red flag. Like, what the fuck? So then that's when things start going on. Now people's like, dude, if you haven't even secured the name of the game, and this game is supposed to, matter of fact, it was supposed to drop last year. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? So then people start saying, oh, this game, you guys, all of the footage was fake, and you basically, the trailer that they built was basically, they copied off of Call of Duty. Their trailers, they copied the styling of that. They copied the styling of The Last of Us. There was like 5 or 6 games. They literally copied their trailers, slices of their trailer, and they built their trailer. And that had everybody pique their interest. Like, oh man, this game looked like it's going to be dope. Well, they did that. And then, so when it didn't hold up under scrutiny. So it's just, I'm telling you, it was just a total shit show. A total shit show. So they finally was able to secure the right or buy the rights to the name the day before again. They said, okay, well, we finally did that. We've solved that issue, but we need to delay the game once more. But it's coming out. It's coming out in December. So we're like, here you go, another game. So everybody was like, this game doesn't exist. It's a scam. And everybody stood to that to this day until it finally released, and everybody was like, oh shit, the game released? Okay, they weren't scammers. Until the reviews started coming in for the game, and they realized the game was just dog shit. And it's basically ended up being a scam because the game was nothing. It's like they had no quality control. It's like they were just pressed just to release anything. And they changed the game. It was supposed to be an MMO style game. And they changed the genre and didn't tell anybody. So then everybody's like, wait. You release this game and once we release it, we find out it's not an MMO. And like, weren't you going to tell, you sold this game to everybody based on the fact that it was supposed to be an MMO and you didn't. So it was just, all of this shit was just, it was a scam. So they delisted it off of Steam. They refunded everybody their money, and the people closing their whole Twitter accounts, their YouTube accounts, and everything. This will go down as one of the weirdest, craziest fucking games to ever release and not release. And that's what you get when you're dealing with PC. You're dealing with PC, especially this early access shit. People buy into the early access stuff, hoping that eventually this game will come to fruition and come to a final. But 95% of all these early access games, never released to a final state. Some developers just totally stop. They totally stopped making the game. And that's PC in pretty much in a nutshell.
These dudes try to sell you healthcare in China. Oh shit. Right. These dudes is wilding. They shut that shit down in days. Well, I guess they have an updated statement. I guess they are offering refunds.
Well, they have no choice.
Well, first, this was the official message. It says, today we announce the closure of Fntastic Studios. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially, and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. We invested all our efforts, resources, and man hours into the development of the day before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately, we don't have the funding to continue the work. It is important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the day before. There were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. At the moment, the future of the day before and prop night is unknown, but the service will remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately, we miscalculated our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavor. We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been a fantastic journey over the past 8 years. 2015, opening of the studio. 2017, release of The Wild 8. 2018, release of Dead Dozen. 2018, release of Radiant One. 2021, release of Prop Night. 2023, release of Day Before. Fantastic. Grand opening, grand closing. It says, to all Day Before players, as the investor of the Day Before, we would like to provide some updates on the current situation around the game. We are sorry for the fact that the game didn't meet the expectations of the majority of players. Today, we will work with Steam to open up refunds for any players who choose to make a refund. We're in contact with Fntastic regarding the future of the game. Mytona. So Mytona is, I guess, one of the sponsors.
One of the publishers. The publishing company. The publishing.
Global group of companies specializing in video game development and publishing. We love making games. What else they ever done? Oh, they pushed this shit. This shit's from the day before. Yo, that shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. Let me see. This is how the game was supposed to look.
Dude.
I mean, from these pictures, it looks cool.
Yeah. That is not how the game.
That's not how the game is. That's not how it is. Because that shit, from the stills, it looks good.
I saw some live streams. That is not real.
That's not.
It's not real.
Not real, bro.
Nope.
It was that guy on the plane. Not real.
Nowhere near that. Nowhere near that.
This right here.
That's the original.
This looks good.
See, these are screenshots from the original trailer that they showed us.
That looks good right there.
Yeah.
Looks like Days Gone.
If you play that game looked like goddamn Redfall on crack.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
let me get
it's fucked up, man.
Look at the super chat. Shout out to Vedger. He says, "Only thing I ask from PS5 Pro is to be silent and bring me a cold beer every time I'm gaming. I don't demand so much more."
Yeah.
Ice Razor. He says, "Ray tracing is old tech. Path tracing is new tech. I don't think path tracing is new tech. I think it's just the most demanding of them all. Yeah. Like path tracing, that shit's." Smoothie movie. He says, "I'm with J-Dub. I pop bottles in the club, but don't like to pay $70 for a game."
Oh man.
Oh man. He says he'll pay. He said he'll pay $70 for the twerking contest. This was not shown in Manhattan, was it? Oh man, they got gamers, bro. They got gamers good. They robbed y'all. That's crazy.
Before early access December 7.
The day before we rob your ass. Oh shit. All right. Hey, let me talk to
close.
like, yo, that's crazy. Grand opening, grand closing. That shit is funny. I can't stop laughing. That shit is just funny. That shit is funny to me. The brain. Did you get suckered? You paid for this shit, didn't you?
Man, I want to touch that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Oh shit.
Smart man.
All right, hey, so
you said early, Once you said early access, I learned my lesson with Shenmue 3. After that, I said, yeah, I'm not. Even though they didn't, quote unquote, even though they didn't do any type of crowdfunding, yeah, it's like, yeah, unless I know that the game is coming out and I can actually hold it, yeah, I'm never doing no type of early access or pre-ordering nothing ever again.
Hey, listen. First of all, the brain, you are on point this time. Okay, you are amazing. Here's the thing. I was saying this to Lorna on Twitter. Okay, I think that the gamers, you know what? They need to take this as a teachable moment. Okay, they absolutely do. They should not get the refunds. Everybody has that never pre-order phase. Okay, everybody has the never pre-order game. You know, the one that fucked you over because you pre-ordered it and then it turned out to be nothing like you thought it was gonna be. You know, everybody has the never early access a game. Everybody has the this looks too good to be true game. Okay, gamers need to learn. Wait a day or two, see reviews before you put your money down. It has to be a teachable moment, guys. And you know what? It should cost you some money along the way. I'm sorry, you shouldn't get your refund for this one. Just take the lesson. Okay? You pay $40, it's not the most expensive lesson. I paid, what was it? What did I pay? I paid like $130, I remember, for Battlefield 3. Because I had spent nearly 1,000 hours in Bad Company 2. And they came out with Battlefield 3 trailer. They were like, hey, listen, Revolution, this is gonna be amazing. It's everything that you loved, but more. At launch, that game was terrible. It eventually got good, but by then I was already completely, disappointed. And that's when I learned that EA is dog shit, and you should never pre-order a game that you haven't seen before. So it was a teachable moment for me. I refused to return it. I was like, "You're going to learn this lesson, boy." Every time I look at that disc, I got pissed. Okay, but I learned my lesson, and you know what? Let the day before be that lesson for somebody else.
All right.
See, they're going to fuck around. They don't keep on fucking around until Congress going to lobby that shit. Excuse me, not lobby. They're going to really regulate that stuff, because as far as if enough people come together and say, hey, we're tired of being scammed out of our money, man. It's like, it's like on one hand that it's going to be regulated, but I do agree with you. At some point, it's like, guys, how many examples do we need to see of don't give your money to, I don't care how credible the game developer is, even for these non-credible ones. Like to me, the most famous one would be Star Citizen. I mean, they've been working on that since 2010, and we're in 2023, and it's still in the alpha phase. Come on, man. And if what I understand, the game looked great, but hey, unless it it officially has an official release date, I'm not giving no money for things like that. And as I said, it only took me for me to learn my lesson with Shenmue 3. After that, I never did it again.
There you go.
I never done any type of crowdfunding.
And never again.
It just didn't make sense to me. I never done any type of crowdfunding. The way I see it, if the game's out and able to buy it, then I'll buy it if I want it. But I'm not gonna give you pre-advance money for something you're telling me you might release one day. I'm like, you know what? I'll just sit back and wait. If it comes out, it comes out. If it don't, it don't. I never crowdfunded anything. I just didn't see the sense in it. Really?
I did it for Ready or Not. I did it for Escape from Tarkov. I did it for quite a few games, and only because if the game, for one, it wasn't much money, right? Call it $50. If the game actually comes out in a release, it's a bunch of perks that you get with that. I did it for Project Cars, the original Project Cars.
God forbid, a motorcycle helmet costs $50.
I told you, Puerto Rock, it's what we perceive as value, right? It's what we perceive as value.
I'm playing. I'll mess with you. I'll mess with you. My man crowdfunded. My man paid $500 for the day, the day before, and that shit didn't even come out. Oh man.
Yeah. But I have been. Listen, you get perks for crowdfunding, right?
Yeah.
But also, you can lose your money. One of these, I forgot. It was a game that was supposed to release. It was called Justice or something like that for the Switch. Crowdfunding game. Again, I put like $50, and that guaranteed me not only a copy of the game, I'd get a character in the game and some more perks and stuff if the game released. Well, the game never fucking released.
No characters.
And, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's just the. But because of Project Cars, because of Ready or Not, because of Escape from Tarkov and stuff like that, I have, it was worth my while. I got to actually play the previews of the alphas and the updates and every little thing that they updated. I was part of that to see how the game was going to go and stuff. And as a PC gamer, a lot of gamers do that. That's why every game is in early access, right? That says, okay, you spend your money now, and eventually you get all these updates, you get to play them and stuff like that, and eventually when the game releases, you got the full-blown game and some added value and stuff that comes with that. So on the PC side, I do see this being a successful way of doing things for the PC crowd. Well, obviously it wouldn't work for the console crowd. I don't see many people doing that stuff at all. Like, I wouldn't do it for Xbox. They have some early access preview titles. I don't fucking do it. It's fucking Xbox.
Xbox.
Always has to take the shot. Xbox.
He says, I'm not doing this bullshit for Xbox. You out your goddamn mind. He's like, shit, it's fucking Xbox.
The Ferrari driver refuses to help.
They'll shut down Microsoft after they have to give them the money.
Absolutely. Hell no. It is what it is.
He treats Xbox the way he treats his bread groceries. He's like, nah, bro. I'm going to cheap for this one.
Cheap. Listen, I don't even got Gamepass. So, I mean, it's just, dude, unless they provide a game that's worthwhile, I'd rather not partake. And that's just simple. Roblox was really the only reason that I had the Xboxes for the kids and stuff like that. And once they made Roblox available on the PlayStation, the kids dropped.
You couldn't wait. You were like, shit. God, thank God, dude, I ain't got this trash.
Yes. Listen, all of those Xboxes, they gave me fucking $720 at GameStop, man. And the kids are just as happy. They got to play their Roblox.
That's all you gave it that about.
And not have to boot it. I mean, it is what it is,
He was at the home decor looks better now.
He's like, thank God. He was waiting for Sony to get Roblox for years.
Game Pass, right? And I don't have to. The only reason I was playing, I had to pay for Game Pass because of Roblox for the kids. Now that's less $15-$16 a month I have to spend. I'm on cloud nine. I'm great.
You can put that money towards more crowdfunding.
You can put it towards the tires.
Absolutely. Listen, that can go towards my helmet.
That's it. Goes for the helmet. All right. Hey, let me switch this topic up real quick. More on the real side. So there's this dude, Joker305, whatever. He said he wants to have a conversation with Rockstar because he feels they took that the inspiration, which you could say is an inspiration, but he feels he should be financially compensated anywhere between $1 to $2 million. Right? Let's hear this out real quick.
It's your boy Joker Gang 305, Ross Chico Live. For everybody saying that I'm hallucinating, that I'm not the Joker from GTA 6. Chill out your goddamn nuggets. That's me. That's the person that got the inspiration from. You see that? That's me. That's me. That's me. GTA, we gotta talk, GTA. We gotta talk. Or not, you gotta give me like $1 or $2 million. So what's up?
$1 or $2 million.
Holler at me, GTA, Rockstar Entertainment, Rockstar Games, Rockstar Enterprise. Florida ain't having that. Y'all took my likeness. Y'all took my life. Look.
Y'all took my life. So, what do you think about that? Who wants to tackle that topic too? GTA Enterprise. We all drop $1 million or $2 million. He said drop $1 million or $2 million.
It's the same thing. Lindsay Lohan tried to sue Rockstar for the GTA 5, right? Being on the cover and stuff. She said that character, that the cover model looks like her, so she tried to sue him. It didn't get anywhere. They dismissed the case. There's a lot of people recently have come out. They're showing video clips of the trailer and them and these characters that look exactly like them in the state of Florida. Will they ever have to pay anything? I don't think so, because I mean, there's a lot of people that look like the fucking Joker. If that's the case, WB is going to be suing Take-Two, right? They're going to be suing. So I mean, is again, that's why you have these things where the whole likeness, you know, the whole likeness and this is based on fictional characters. It's just coincidental. They have all this terminology and stuff like that. And guess what? At the end of the day, those characters may not even be in the game. That could just be used for the trailer. They could be like, listen, yeah, you can say what you want, but these characters aren't even in the game, so you can't sue us. This is just a trailer that we put out. The next trailer, you'll never see these characters and stuff again. It was just to get people talking. I assume that's how Take Two is going to. Rockstar.
J-Dub is 100% right. Listen, first of all, these guys are lawyered the fuck up. Okay?
Yeah,
they make millions of dollars on a Tuesday. They are lawyered the fuck up. And guess what? J-Dub said it exactly right. If they were going to lose, you know what they would do instead of paying your money, bro? They would just take the character out. They'd be like, yeah, you're right. He's not here anymore. Thank you. Thank you, it's fine. We got what we wanted. We got what we wanted. It's all good. They probably made more than $1 million on the YouTube ads alone. Like, let's face it, this thing was like, what, 90 million in a day? So it's like, they could pay you, but out of pettiness, you know what they would do? They'll just take you out of the game. And then they'll be like, oh, thank you for pointing out that we went a little bit too far with our creative pursuit. We apologize. Here is a $100 Walmart, voucher. That's your compensation. You know, like when they do the class action lawsuits, and then they're like, oh yeah, we'll pay you $4 million. And then by the time you realize that it's going to be, spread across 50,000 people, you're like, oh yeah, that's like $52 each. And then that's it. So that's it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to have fun with this one for a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to go the opposite direction. Even though J-Dub, he hit it exactly on the head. Rockstar should just give him money so that WB can sue him. I mean, look on the bigger screen, like you can see a damn Batman sign on, tattoo on his fucking forehead. So yeah, Rockstar, they should just give him the money just to watch WB just sue him, because it's like, why should Rockstar give him money of him looking like a character based on a fictional character that somebody else created? I don't want to see how that even works. And then on top of that, to even add more to what J-Dub said, doesn't Grand Theft Auto fall underneath satirical or parodies, whereas that has an extra level of protection? Yeah. So yeah, I don't see this going anywhere. And to M's point, it probably would just be cheaper for them just to say, you know what, that looks like you. Let's just take it out and let's call it. I mean, I'm just looking at this, and this is what I call clout chasing. To me, this is a definition of clout chasing. It's like, really, this is what is making the news, or this is what has people's attention. P-Rock, this is your show, and you make the topics whatever you want to make topics. But man, this is embarrassing, man. If I was this guy, man, I would never want to show my face in public ever again, because this is bullshit. And then on top of that, it's fucking mugshots. I mean, that's public information. Oh, this shit makes my hair hurt just even talking about it. This shit is stupid. It's stupid.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go in your direction, Brain. Listen, after what is it? Warner Brothers sues him. It should be the Catholic Church next. They'll be like, hey, that's a crucifix. That's a crucifix right there. That's
so it's one of two things. One, his mistake is he's worrying about suing. Somebody should tell him, bro, you're not gonna win because you don't have the rights, whatever. What he should have done is start making content and use the moment. You know what I'm saying? Do GTA parodies. Yo, bro, get on social media. Now that ridiculousness shit that won't even let you get hired at Home Depot, use it to your advantage now and start creating content. Be a personality on social media. And like before the game comes out, start doing skits and shit. You could use GTA's momentum to build your skit.
You could be the GTA guy.
You could be the GTA
guy plays GTA 5 or something.
You could be all types of skit and all that shit. You could do all types of stuff. To me, this only would have had merit if he did all this weird shit and he would have had a social media profile based on this likeness. If he had a brand and he done the right thing and he marketed it, whatever, and he's getting monetary money because of this appearance and he's doing stuff, then he could say, hey, they are taking my thing, all this weird shit, and they're trying to make money off it. Yeah. Now they could argue, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to copy somebody else's routine, but he didn't do nothing other than do all this shit for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Stout. Oh shit, I haven't seen this dude in a while. He says, "What up, peoples? PR, you know what you said wouldn't did pay up on that PS5 Pro bet? I got receipts." What? Speak English, bro. PR. Well, are you talking about Zaire's bet? Well, yeah. When they announced, when the PS5 Pro, and it's gonna happen, gets officially announced, he wins the bet and he gets $60. Why you need receipts for? Yeah. Shit, I paid post up when he won the bet with the Spider-Man Miles Morales. What do you think you're talking to D-Batch or some shit? This ain't, bro. You on the wrong podcast. Stop!
3 years
Stop! Get your ass to RDX. You on the wrong goddamn channel. That's where D-Batch is at. I pay my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, right?
What?
For all the right reasons, we didn't think there would be a PS5 Pro because we thought that they were doing well enough with what they had.
Yeah.
But once the leaks start coming out, once specs start coming out, once Digital Foundry start going in there, and then once the court case came, and Microsoft
it's just no arguing at this point.
Microsoft actually revealed that the PS5 Pro existed. I think that's when I was like, damn.
It is what it is.
I took the L. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So that's easy. I mean, hell, Post Up called that Miles Morales was going to go on PC within 2 years, and it actually happened. Yeah. It went to PC within 2 years. So as soon as they announced, and it wasn't even the full official announcement with the date, it was just Insomniac saying, Miles Morales was coming to PC. When I saw that tweet, I just gave Post $60. People were saying, you need to wait because it needs to come out before November. I'm like, I'm not doing that bullshit. He made a good call 2 years ago. He earned that $60. Like, bro, here, you earned that $60 because that was a good fucking call. That was a good call. So yeah, when PlayStation announces, when they officially announce the Pro, Cash App Z. And that's it. That's the story. That's where it goes. But Ricky Bobby, what's his name? I gotta find his Twitter. Because that dude bet me $100 that GTA 6 was gonna be day one on Game Pass.
Oh, that's a silly.
And listen, I told them, I told them, nah, we're not doing that. I said, I'm not taking that bet. Like, bro, like, stop it. Stop saying stupid shit. Yeah. He's like, nah, fuck that. We're gonna do this. I'm like, Ricky, right? That's his name, right? Ricky Brown? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ricky Brown.
I need his Twitter, cause he was egging me. I'm like, bro, I remember, like, bro, stop it. Like, you sounding stupid now. Like, just move on from it. But no, he kept doing it. So I'm like, fuck it. Fine, let's take the bet. I told him $100. It's not going to be day one on Game Pass. It's not, bro.
You know what? They should do it, though.
And it is what it is. We already did the bet. We did it.
No. They should do it. Microsoft should do it.
Hell no, motherfucker. I'll lose $100. I'll boot you out the damn pocket. What's wrong with you? I'll be $3 I lose.
Can you imagine how much money Rockstar will ask? They'll be like, hey, listen. So you're $1 trillion company, yeah? How about we take off?
Yeah. Like, oh, shit. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Even if, let's say, Microsoft decided to pony up $1 billion just to have it in Game Pass for, let's say,
it'll be more than $1 billion.
It'll be more than $1 billion.
No, just humor me, right? Just humor me, right? Even if they did do that, right?
We want 30% of your Microsoft stock.
No, think about it.
It will be $1 billion with Ferrari and the tires and the Bugatti and the helmet. They'll be like, hey, we want everything. The $500 helmet too. We don't want that $300 shit.
Yeah, but that wouldn't. Here's the unfortunate side of that is it would still not convince one single person to go out and buy an Xbox console, and I
don't know, man.
That's the downside, right? Man. It's good. It's good for people who already have that. But would a person go and spend $299 or for $499? For a console just to play this one game in Game Pass for 2 or 3 months? Because they got to pull it out, right? The $1 billion wouldn't be to have it in there perpetually. Just like
if it's not there perpetually with the online, then yeah.
GTA 5 was in PlayStation Plus. It was in Game Pass at certain times. They do it a couple of times a year or whatever. to bring people back and try to refresh and get some more money and stuff like that. So clearly, these guys are, they may pay, let's say $75 million to have it in Game Pass for 3 months, right? So that would do that. But to have a brand new game in your service day one, that shit would just be so expensive. But the payoff of it is, it wouldn't convince anybody to go and fucking buy a console, which I
think it would. I think it would. I think GTA is a system seller, and I think that if so? let's just entertain what you say. Even for Xbox, I think that if they could get GTA on Game Pass, okay, it doesn't matter what it costs them, but they could get that on Game Pass for 3 months, like you said. I think it will be a tremendous tectonic shift in terms of sales. Like, you will see that graph just completely flip. Where they're like, PlayStation is like plus 200% year on year. I think if they could get GTA 6, bro, it will be a complete flip. They'll be like Xbox plus 3,000%. PlayStation will be like minus 11. Like,
I think GTA has enough.
How did you come to that?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay, so I just want to answer it. Because GTA attracts new gamers. Like, there are people that would never consider any game, and then when these traders keep building momentum, there will be brand new gamers, not people that origin on PlayStation. People that origin on PlayStation are just going to buy on PlayStation. Okay. But there will be brand new gamers that are like, what the fuck is that? Especially young kids. Let's face it, like GTA pulls in a very big teenage, audience. And then they will just be like, I have to play that, especially with online, to play that with their friends. They're not going to care about cross progression or crossplay. They won't be familiar with any of these terms. They will just know that this is the game everyone at school is playing. I have to play with my friends, and it looks like GTA. Like, I just think that GTA is one of those, like, it spreads new seeds, in order to. Oh, that sounds weird. Anyways, point is, it brings in new gamers.
He said it's Skeets. No, so the reason why I agree with M, only because I think GTA will bring the attention to Game Pass Microsoft hasn't been able to do in terms of marketing. GTA is so big, like so far, even with Starfield or whatever, Game Pass is still bigger than the games that are in it. But GTA is just a huge phenomenon. I think that will make people be like, wait, what the fuck is Game Pass? Because Game Pass will reach that audience and people will start to wonder, what is Game Pass? And I think GTA would be that game to have people now ask, yo, what's this Game Pass shit they're talking about? Like to this day, there's people who still don't know shit about Game Pass, right? But I think GTA will start that conversation where people be like, they see the commercial, they're like, oh shit, and then it says played on Game Pass. And then people will be like, yo, what's Game Pass? What they talking about? Like, it would actually reach out to people. And then when people tell you can play GTA on Game Pass without having to buy it, and it got these other games. And then that's when it'll start trickling to people, be like, oh shit, I could play GT. And then whenever Microsoft starts putting COD, Call of Duty on Game Pass, now people will start being like, but I think that's the main problem to this day. For whatever reason, a lot of people don't know about Game Pass because it just doesn't have the right. It doesn't have the right hook for whatever reason. It just didn't hook people, whatever. But I think Grand Theft Auto would be that hook. People who probably don't care will ask the question. Now they'll start asking the question for the first time. Yo, what's Game Pass? What's that? And then once they dive deep into it, they'll be like, all right, what else I could play? Oh, you could play Call of Duty, which is another highly casual game. They're like, yo, I could play Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty, and I don't have to buy the shit? Yo! So that's what I think. I honestly think Grand Theft Auto would be a huge boost for Game Pass. Because it would actually get people more awareness.
I don't even think it has to be about the value. I think that GTA and Call of Duty are those games where people just want the shortest path of least resistance to it. Like, if they just be like, put this game in front of me right now. What is the quickest, easiest way I can do this? And if you tell them, hey, you don't even need a console, like a lot of people have Samsung TVs that are like, yeah, just download this app and get on Game Pass. What's Game Pass? I can sign up like Netflix, and then in 5 minutes, I'm cloud streaming this shit. boom, done. Then they find out, okay, yeah, streaming isn't the best experience. Maybe I need to get a console.
It's dog shit.
At the beginning of the day, they're just like, what is the shortest path? Like, how do I get this in front of my face right now? They don't care. If you're like, hey, you can drive to the store, or you can just turn on your TV. They'd be like, hey, I'm turning on my TV first.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Blestio. He says, "Don't worry, Rockstar will be offering compensation of $2 million in shark cards. Good day from Melbourne. They're gonna give this a hey, just boot up some GTA 5. Here's some shark cards. But anyway, this dude, I think he still has the opportunity to take advantage of the situation. I just think he no one's guiding him. Somebody should be reaching out to him like, bro, you're going out about it the wrong way. One, you're not gonna win. But what you can do, we could start doing some social media work and get this popping, and make some money doing this thing." Final topic. So recently, Rockstar, or former animator, right? Right, who worked on Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption 2, says while he was working there, PS5 was the priority platform due to sales, we're not learning anything new.
Did you say specifically PS5 or PlayStation?
No, PlayStation. So PlayStation has been the big sellers for Rockstar for Grand Theft Auto games, right? So, which obviously, okay, that makes sense. I would say that's probably logical across the board for gaming, period, right? You're going to prioritize the platform where your game sells the most, and then you do your ports, whatever. But what I want to talk about is what I found interesting was, for specifically GT5, Rockstar ended up prioritizing the PS3 version over the Xbox 360 version because they said it was more powerful. And this was towards the end when the game released in 2013. That was what I found remarkable, right? And to me, here we go. York goes on to explain that the popularity incentive these developers to ensure the port of the dominant platform works really well. Which, okay, yeah, of course. In this case, that's PlayStation, though Xbox will still be worked on. Looking back on his time working on GTA 5, he said Rockstar concentrated on both PS3 and Xbox at the same time, but was mainly pushing the PS3 to the limit because the PS3 was kind of better hardware at the time for us to use memory and different things, right? And I'm like, oh shit, toward the end, the more powerful hardware, whatever. But what I like about this, the only thing I just really talking about, I don't know if that's a big conversation piece, was how Sony was able to fix their issues that gen. PS3 started, PS3 didn't start out shaky. That shit started out in trouble. That shit was sinking. They found a way to do a quick weld job and kept that shit going, right? But they realized and addressed the issues that gen to where even something like Rockstar would be like, yo, we're going to prioritize, we're going to really push the PS3 to its limit because this shit's pretty good, even though everyone really hated the cell architecture. Yeah, not much of a topic, is it?
I mean, the biggest difference is that Sony didn't have a victim mentality about it.
I agree. You know what? Good point. Like the fans, the company, no PlayStation tax. It was we fucked up. It's funny. Even after, like, what's his name? Oh my god. The guy that holy shit, it's off the top of my head. Holy shit, the former PlayStation CEO or president.
Castle-Rai?
What? Not Castle-Rai, after him. No, the one. No, not the Asian one. The one that was there in 2019 and he left. He was on
John Cordero.
No, I said not Japanese. Yeah, no. After that. No, the one that says the one. No, after him. What? Sean Layden, there you go. That we named everybody. Sean Layden. God, that we named. It was like 5. We named there's like 50 of them. But Sean Layden, but Sean Layden said that PS3, they didn't blame other people. He said that was a moment of hubris. He says that was our Icarus moment. Sony did not blame the industry or nothing for their fuck up. They said we fucked up because we flew too high close to the sun and it clipped our wings. They took responsibility
Yeah.
for what happened with PlayStation, as compared to other people saying, well, you know, the way other companies moves and make it real impossible for us to, like, shut the fuck up, bro. You are $1 trillion company. Man, get out of here with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. Sony never fostered or nurtured a victim mindset. The fan base didn't like develop a victim mindset. It just came down to fix your shit and get this.
Yep.
Get the games. Get your shit together and get the goddamn games together. Literally. That's all they had to do. Get your shit together. Whatever stupid plan you thought you were gonna do, scratch that shit and get back to the basics. Focus on gaming. And they did it that gen. And that's it. It was really, I'm pretty sure it was a lot of hard work, but the fundamental plan and coming up with it is easy. Just get back to the basics. Now put in the work to do that. No victim mindset, none of this weird shit. You know, no PlayStation tax, no crying, no creating ambassador program, none of this weird shit. Just create goddamn games. When you make a new console, fucking do better. Don't repeat the same mistake.
That's why the PS3 is probably the most important generation in PlayStation's history, because it turned them onto the success that they are now having on the PS5, because it was a radical change in philosophy. How they develop the next consoles, you know, and if the PS3 moment hadn't happened, if that hubris had actually paid off, and then developers were breaking their backs to, you know, go along Sony's mentality, then we will have a PlayStation 4 and 5 that were just as equally challenging to develop for. You know, we wouldn't have these games that we have now, or the ease, you know, at which, you know, Insomniac is coming out with games every second week, you know, just here's another one for you, you know. Yeah. So yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna take a different approach on that one, just because of that was actually one of my points that I was thinking of. But thinking about the PlayStation 3 with the cell architecture, you know, not even from a technology standpoint, you know, that was something really groundbreaking and brand new and totally different. But they also had a lot riding on, and which I'm gonna just break it down to, you know, Sony's whole entire reputation was there, not only from a critical commercial standpoint, but then also you gotta remember Sony, they may have, I you know what, I'm gonna say that they were one of the, you know, co-inventors or co-founders of the cell architecture, because it just wasn't them. IBM was part of that, and so was Toshiba. And then on top of that, you know, Blu-ray was just that was all Sony's baby as well too. So to me, you know, I kind of wish that the PlayStation 3, that the cell architecture actually did much better, or rather the PlayStation 3 was more successful out of the gate, just because of, you know, instead of, you know, being stuck in the, you know, the x86 and more or less getting commercial off the shelf parts that we were forced with the PlayStation 4, and even, you know, with the Xbox One, due to the you know, Great Recession, because, you know, that I know that the PlayStation came out a year before that, but during this whole lifetime, you know, it you know, I will also argue that had a lot to do with it as well too. But it, you know, that would have really pushed the technology forward. Like, to me, you know, we can say whatever we want to say about it, you know, it being fucked up, and then it, you know, it kind of caught on, or developers really struggled with that. But if that was more successful, I don't think that, you know, we would be having this conversation right now, as far as it would have still been difficult to develop for. If anything, you know, if it was more successful, you know, they would have, you know, it would have been more optimized. So I kind of wish, and this is coming from somebody that I refused to pay for the PlayStation 3 outright, just because of the fact that, you know, I'm not paying no damn $600 or getting a second job so just I can play the fucking game. If I got working 2 jobs, I can't play the fucking game. Where I'm gonna find the free time to play a damn game. So that was my one point as far as the cell architecture itself, and what it has so much riding on it. But yeah, I do agree that, you know, it wasn't all of this, you know, this victim mentality, or rather Sony did not take a victim mentality. You know, they just hunkered down and, you know, and went about it. But then secondly, going back to your other point, Porter Rock, with Rockstar using the PlayStation 3 as the base platform to develop for the Grand Theft Auto 5, I see it. I see it for 2 reasons. The first reason I see it is because of, with the exception of Grand Theft Auto 4, Rockstar always had a close relationship with Sony, and I think that, excuse me, and I think that even going back to the PlayStation 2, one of the reasons why the PlayStation 2 sold so well is because of the fact that there was time exclusivity, based on Grand Theft Auto. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, to me, that whole entire trilogy was one of the main reasons why the PlayStation 2 outsold every other system during Gen 6. That's number one. And then secondly, again, going back to notwithstanding the difficulty of the cell architecture, because there were developers that that did get that right, and mainly was the Sony first person developer. First person studios like Naughty Dog with the first Uncharted. Because if I think about it, I don't think that let's just say if the shoe was on the other foot, do I think that Naughty Dog could have did that with the 360? Maybe, but I think that there would have certainly been some type of concessions. But going back to my original point with the technology, yeah, I can see Rockstar doing that just because of once I guess any developer really wrap their head around it, and even think about one of the articles I read about that, and just the 7. Lack of a better term, I forget the exact term that they used, but the 7 different processing cores that each cell core, it had a specific function and what it could do. To me, if I really want to think about it, it's like, to me that sound like that was like an interim step to what we're currently dealing with right now with AI technology. So it's like, yeah, for as difficult as it may have been to develop for the cell architecture, to me, that it was groundbreaking. There's no ifs or buts about it.
Okay, here's the issue though. The cell was developed with more than just gaming in mind, right? Like it was meant to do many, many other things. And that therein lies the problem. In that when you are developing a console, you should ideally make 99% of your focus on just pushing gaming forward. And when they came up with the cell processor, and they were like, hey, you know what, we'll do this in a different way, which on paper makes a lot of sense, right? It's like, okay, we'll partner and then the cost will be high, but then we will kind of spread the cost around because we'll be able to use this one chip in more than just this one application, which makes a lot of sense again on paper, but they did it to the detriment of the game developers. And at the end of the day, the game developers are your artists, right? Like, if your artists are not happy, if they're not happy creating on your platform or using the tool set that you've provided for them, it doesn't matter what else it could do. It doesn't matter how powerful it could be. At the end of the day, the artists have to like the tools they're using. There are pens and pencils and brushes and paint brushes that cost hundreds of dollars, paints that cost thousands of dollars. Why? Because the artists that use them to create things determine that those things are worth the price and that those are the way that they prefer to create things. So again, it's like, yes, you can come up with this multi-environment chip and you can come up with these capabilities that would be, really interesting. But if people don't like it, they don't like it. Like imagine, having an ergonomic mouse, and then you're supposed to like work on that mouse for thousands of hours a year. Just use this mouse that makes your wrist cramp and because it can give you more precision in this or that. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna pick something else. If you don't like the tool you're using, it doesn't matter. There's nothing else that matters to an artist than making this tool get out of my way so that I can bring my vision to life. It has to be as transparent as possible. And the cell, at the end of the day, wasn't transparent to artists. It was a thing that you constantly think about, that you constantly deal with, and right or wrong, they did not like it. And so you were never going to get a more optimized version, let's say in the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5. Had they gone down the same direction, it would have become more powerful, it would have become more capable. But if it was still anergonomic to the creative process, it doesn't matter what it is. Like people were just going to deviate from it more and more and more, especially as Xbox would have created counter tools that were easier to develop for, that gave you, let's say, 80% of the performance, but it's like, I don't have to think about this. Like for me, I'm like, if I'm using a camera that I absolutely hate, like I hate using Nikon cameras. I absolutely hate using Nikon cameras. Every time I use a Nikon camera, I'm thinking about the fact that I'm using the Nikon camera. I'm not thinking about the photos I'm taking. So it doesn't matter what you put in front of me. I hate it, and I'm just thinking about it, and I'm just thinking about how much I hate it, and I'm not producing anything worth showing.
So, yeah, so I want to show this article because I remember reading this article. So this is from, out of all the articles, right? It's a racing article, but this is from, Kazunori. The PS3 era was a nightmare for Polyphony Digital, says Kazunori. When looking at the GT franchise as a whole, critics frequently rate the most recent games, GT5 and GT6, as the least successful in the series history for a wide variety of reasons. Those critics might be surprised to find that Kazunori Yamauchi actually agrees with them. Yamauchi. He says, in terms of development, it was really, really difficult, and the games, after all the development efforts were put into it, were very, very low. I think it was just that the balance of the PS3 as a piece of hardware wasn't very good, Kazunori said in a recent interview with GameSpot. The age of the PS3 for us was sort of a nightmare. We really had to deal with this situation for a while where this is what we want to achieve, but all we can do is this. So there was a lot of frustration that was built up. The PS3 hardware is something that at first glance looks like it's able to do this certain level of things, but it can't. And that was pretty much the consensus on all the studios. Like, sure, because you don't have a choice, especially if you're a first party dev and you're making a an exclusive like with Metal Gear Solid 4, right? When this dude made a game, right? Sure, they did phenomenal things with the best they can, but if you told them if they would voluntarily ask Sony to release a cell, they would look at you and be like, hell the fuck no, you keep that sucker away, right? And M hit it on the point. The cell processor was never made for gaming. It was a Trojan horse. PS3 was a Trojan horse for two technologies, the cell and Blu-ray. That's why they put it in there, because they felt that the PS3 was so popular, or PlayStation so popular, it can help make these other things popular. So instead of putting the focus on, we got to build a PS3, we got to make it the best for gaming, they automatically assumed, let's use PlayStation 3 to make these other things very popular. And that's where they fucked up. And that's where they realized, oh shit, like, in order to make sure our PlayStation stays popular and people want it, you actually always have to focus on what it's supposed to do, which is gaming. Sony's plan, and Toshiba and IBM, their plan was to take over the CPU processing market. So it wasn't really for PlayStation. It was supposed to be for phones, tablets, computers. Why you think they did that stupid shit folding on home? Yeah. Why you think PlayStation had that stupid ass app folding at home so you could try to like cure, fucking cancer. Yeah, cancer and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to show the world all this stuff the cell processor can do. But that's not gaming. Like, what about the gaming part? Like, that's literally the point of the console. And it just wasn't it. So at that point, Sony's like, this was the biggest mistake. We're never going to do this again. And that's the reason why they hired Mark Cerny. They say, as a consultant first, we need to figure out, because what we're doing is what we're this way. It didn't work. Figure out another way for us to get there. Can x86 actually be the way forward? And he investigated. He did his work. He has on YouTube. You could type in Mark Cerny Road to PS4. They hired him in 2007, like a few months after. That's how bad shit was. The PlayStation launched in 2006. They hired his ass in February 2007. So they took no time in realizing we fucked up. Like, yo, this shit is bad. He said he started working for them in February 2007. In fact, I think it was just after the launch of PS3 in Europe, because the European version launched in February. So I think it was shortly after. So that's how early they got him on the game. And they got to figure out, the way forward after this stuff, right? The main thing is, let's say if the cell processor was partially successful, to where Sony would consider, you know what, we're going to stick with this. We're going to make our own proprietary, CPU. We're not going to go with, the common hardware. Nah, we're going to stick with that. PlayStation would have been fucked during COVID. Because who the fuck is going to make that?
Yeah.
They could barely get silicon for common stuff. You think there's enough silicon for proprietary exclusive technology? Sony would have nothing to sell a PS5 if that shit was on the sale. That shit would not be made. Companies would be like, we ain't got the stuff. We ain't got enough stuff to make it. Sorry. Like, we can't even make the most common stuff for phones and tablets. We're going to make your thing where the only thing you got is just a console? Nah, sorry, brother. You're just going to have to wait in line. That shit, I think that, like, kind of like what Extreme said, it was the perfect time to fail because it technically saved the brand in the future. Because I think if they would have kept the sale, PlayStation would be dead this gen. That COVID would have killed it because there would be no way to make the stuff. And Sony would be stuck like, fuck. They would just
I don't even think we have survived the PS4 gen.
Yeah,
I think
maybe not. Maybe
they would have died then. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and especially now, it's all about ease of use, easy tools. Everything's just being easier. You know, and that's the way to go. You got to go with the majority of developers to make things super easy as possible, so they can make the games, you know, as best as possible. Kind of like what J-Dub said right earlier. A lot of these games are 4K 30 whatever from the developers, but Sony's implementing 60 frames. Well, if they make the Pro to where it's easy to make a 60 frame per second game, then they're going to make a 60 frame per second game because you made it easy for them. But they're not going to put in that much extra work for a multiplat. Now, if you contract them as an exclusive, then that's different. Because you have an exclusive relationship, you put some money down, you know, you work some stuff, yeah. But a multiplat developer, they're not trying to hear that shit. They got to make a game for the Series S, for the Series X, for PlayStation, now the PlayStation 5 Pro, and the PC alone is just infinite configurations. They're not trying to hear Sony's bullshit about, hey, implement VRR, HFR. They'll be like, bitch, we ain't got time for that. You get these 30 frames. You want us to give you 60, make better hardware. And that's just how it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
They got cocky. They took their eyes off the ball of gaming and they focused on other things. And that generation humbled them.
Oh yeah.
And it humbled them in a lot of ways. And then guess what they did? They went back to the basic necessity of what they should focus on in this. That's just gaming.
Yeah.
Then the PS4. They made a console that specifically was for gaming, with gamers in mind and developers in mind, to make easier games and make better games, and the rest is history, right? And they turn around and doubled it down during the PlayStation 5 generation, and so they're betting on gaming because that's what they should have did in the first place. Now, here's the thing, Puerto Rock and M. Imagine if during the PS3 era, they never took their eyes off the ball, right? Imagine if they never tried to do the medical hardware stuff and the risk chips to send for all kind of other shit, right? Imagine if they wouldn't have did that. Imagine if they would have just made it specifically gaming focused with developers in mind and gamers in mind. Imagine how that generation would have went. Of course, they still won a generation. But they had to go through hell just to be able to recoup and get back on track. If they wouldn't have had those 3 or 4 years, if that console wasn't $600, if they would have did everything right that generation, how much further would PlayStation be right now, this generation? Or why would that leave the competition, right? Because that was PlayStation's worst generation ever, and they still outdid the competition.
J-Dub, I'm actually going to disagree with you there. Do you know why? I think that if it wasn't for the failure of the PS3, PlayStation would be worse off now. I think the PS3, let's say they didn't do the sell, they did something perfectly reasonable and, you know, developers loved it and everything. I still think that the problem wasn't the selling itself, it was the mentality at Sony. Because I think that they would have just kicked that hubris down the road. Like, PS1, great. PS2, amazing. PS3, let's say, is just blew everything out of the water. PS4, I don't trust the old Sony to have done well with it. If they did well on PS4, they would have fucked up on PS5. Like, at one point, Sony was getting way too big for the britches. They were becoming like Apple. And I don't mean Apple as in Apple overcharges things. I mean Apple as in they are ridiculous and they create products that are just fundamentally incompatible with human beings. Like the Apple Magic Mouse that has a USB, port at the bottom, so you can't charge it and use it at the same time. Or the Apple when they brought out the butterfly keyboard. you know. And when they brought out the touch bar and
I
they replaced the
remember
function
that.
keys with the touch bar, you know, like that Apple led by Johnny Ives, that was just like the most arrogant company, just completely taking away functionality. And like I said before, the thing about creatives is that we all need tools to be creative, right? There's very few of us that just like use our fingers and that's it. That's what we do, or like body performance art. Most of us need some kind of tool. And Apple had become, under Johnny Ives, a company that say, fuck you and your needs to enjoy your tools. We're just going to create whatever we want to create. We want the slimmest, sleekest, MacBook hardware possible because that looks aesthetically pleasing, and that's what we're going for. And it doesn't matter how much that actually sets you back as a creator. They had to work that back. Sony was doing the same thing. So even if they had a great PlayStation 3 generation, the problem is that the mentality was, you know what, fuck your feelings. It doesn't matter what you want. We're just going to create whatever the fuck we want, and you have to get used to it. So I think for me, I see it as a ticking time bomb. I feel like every company needs to have that moment where the hubris is checked. And the thing is, Xbox did too, right? Xbox did that during the last generation in Xbox One. And they should have learned the lesson. They should have been like, yep, okay, cool. This is our moment to kind of swallow our pride and give people what they want. But instead, they started crying foul. You know, that's literally the only difference between what each of these companies went through.
Well, I think Microsoft, on the other hand, I think they just totally said, fuck it. We're just gonna go in our own lane. We're just gonna try to do something totally different. We're just gonna give up. We're just not gonna do it. And that's the downside. I wish they would have had that mindset. I wish they would have had that Nintendo mindset and that Sony mindset as
Well, when you look at Nintendo did the same thing.
Yeah.
Nintendo dropped out competing with Sony. They said, we're not doing this no more. We're going to do something our own lane. We're going to do something specific that you can't like nobody like buying a Switch and buying a PlayStation is not the same decision because they're so unique and far off. You're going to want something specific. Do you want a mobile device that you could play anywhere and you can also play it on the TV? Or do you want a dedicated console that does traditional console stuff? That's a huge... Now, of course, there's the exclusives, but if you choose a Nintendo Switch, you are missing a lot out of the stuff, the PlayStation. But if you choose a PlayStation, you are missing a lot out of the stuff Nintendo brings. So it's literally two completely different identities. Whichever one you choose, you're missing out a lot on something. If you choose the PlayStation, sure, you got the PlayStation exclusives, you got all the third party. But you lost mobility, and you lost those Nintendo exclusives, and you lost all those games that are family friendly, party friendly, and any third party that Nintendo grabs that caters to their style, you ain't got access to that shit. You can be like, all right, fine, I'm gonna get a Nintendo. But if you get a Nintendo, you just got assed out on all those major third parties, those graphical fidelities, PlayStation exclusive. So they're like worlds apart. Xbox is different. Xbox is literally PlayStation's baby brother. Like literally your PlayStation except worse. Like you're not doing anything. Like what are you doing to separate yourself, whatever? Microsoft's like, you know what? The normal thing is not working. I mean, and we've seen it for years. Even Microsoft said they never were able to win a console generation, right? Yeah. So you go through a console generation with your OG Xbox, and you say to yourself, okay, you know what? That was our first Xbox. Of course we're going to lose. We got it with the 360. We got Halo. We got BioShock. Oh, shit. Sony launched at $600. Yeah. Oh, shit. The network sucks ass. Oh, shit. It costs $600. Oh, shit. We got Gears. We got BioShock first. And then at the end of the gen, you're like, how the fuck did we lose? Like, how we lose? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, bro, we literally had the cheaper console and we had some of the best games of the generation. We had some of the best franchises of the generation. We had some of the best second-party deals of the generation. Hell, we got Grand Theft Auto 4 with exclusive, or at least timed exclusive, but at the time it seemed like it was exclusive, with DLC. The fuck else we gonna do? All right, fuck it. Let's try this Motion Family shit with Kinect. That shit bombed bad. Like right out the gate. And now they're like, we launched a new console that's kind of like the Dreamcast. That didn't work. We actually went toe-to-toe with PlayStation's worst PlayStation in terms of console. That didn't work. We tried some new shit to get into the living room. That shit didn't work. What the fuck else is left? Like, what's left? So they're going with this Game Pass. They're like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We're not doing this console bullshit no more. We're not fighting this. We're done. We're done with this shit. We're gonna try to, and that's why I see Microsoft. They're gonna try their own lane, just try to be completely different, you know. And I think Phil wanted that one last college try with the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. I think that was his last. You know what? I'm gonna give this shit one more goddamn try, you know, because maybe things might be a little different. And you saw in the secret email, not the the release emails when the court, the leak. The Gigabyte geek, the leak.
Yeah.
He sent the email to Satya the day Sony had their PS5 reveal. He's like, you know what? I feel good about our product. We have the more powerful option and we have the cheaper option. I think we can do it. 2 years later, feels like, fuck this, bro. Yeah. I'm so tired of these motherfuckers. No one buys our shit. Get out of here. I think he's just done with that. At a certain point, you just gotta realize I can't. He even said it. He actually said it. You can't out-counsel these motherfuckers. So I'm not going to do this for a fifth time. For what?
Yeah.
Like, that's insanity at this point. So I honestly believe when he said you can't out-counsel Sony and Nintendo, he probably's like, listen, we did almost every angle we could. Yeah. It's just over. We're just going to move on from that strategy. We just can't do it. They can't do it.
Let me ask you this, Porter Rock. Since you say that, and I agree with you 1,000,000%. Phil said that out of his own mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think it's so difficult for the Xbox fan base to accept that or to take that as his statement, and that's just what it is? Because
I can answer that easily. I can answer that real easily. So, take for example today, right? We got this article from IGN simply saying this is how you cancel your Netflix subscription. These guys somehow, and you have to credit Microsoft for this. Their team, their marketing team, Xbox Fan Fest, they somehow convinced their hardcore fan base that they are part of Xbox, even with the responsibility of the business side. That's them, right? So things that go wrong with Xbox, they're part of that, right? So when they see even a simple article that just says, hey, this is how you cancel Game Pass, that's like an attack. That's bullshit. They really emotionally feel something like that now. The reason why they don't see these stuff is because no one really wants to admit that they're part of failure. Yeah. They don't want to admit that. It's like trying to convince an alcoholic that you're an alcoholic. They're not at that stage yet. They're like, no. This brand is great. You're the one that's fucked up. You're the fanboy. You're the one that's not being fair. Xbox tax. Sony's the problem. Nintendo's the problem. Japan hates America. Why does everybody hate Xbox? Oh, look at these articles. Media bias. Everything is everyone else but the very group. You know, and the funny part is, the Xbox fans, and this is to all your Xbox fans, it's not your fault either. It's a fucking company making a consumer product. Like when Porsche, I think M talked about, was it Nissan? Was it Porsche that fucked up? What car company you said?
I was talking about Apple.
No, but you made a car reference. That it wasn't until they released a Porsche certain model.
I was talking about Audi.
Audi, there you go, Audi. It wasn't until they released which one? The R8. Audi was going to the shitter until they reinvented it and brought out the R8. But guess what? Audi enthusiasts didn't blame themselves for Audi's fuck up. Like, it's you who's fucking up.
Yeah.
Fix your shit. Or guess what? If you gone, oh well. Like when Sega flopped, I didn't blame myself, and I was a Sega fan. That wasn't my fault. It was them dumbasses. They kept making hardware throughout. You know, they're making 3D glasses, Game Gear. They're making all types of stupid shit that nobody's buying. That's their goddamn fault. That had nothing to do with Sega flopping. The fuck? It's not me. But these Xbox dudes, they feel tied to the brand. So, like, anything that goes wrong with Xbox, they got to damage control it and make sure that everybody else is the problem. And it's like, wait a minute. Like, bro, people ain't buying Xboxes because of what Xbox is doing or not doing. And that's it. You see the lack of sales, right? You see Game Pass is not blowing. I mean, Game Pass is about to be 8 years now. We already surpassed 7 years because it came out of what? 2017? So it's already past 6 years. It was like June or July of 2017 when it launched. So it's already 6 years old. And that sucker's around 30 million. It's nowhere near 50, 60, 70. 30 million is not a lot for a subscription service that's been around for 6 years, right? So it's around approaching 7 years. The console's selling worse than Xbox One. You haven't seen Xbox games sell like 5, 10 millions for years. Like even Halo 5 didn't even, I think, surpass 5 million. I think it sold maybe up to 5 million, which is fucking bad compared to the previous Halos. It was just, shit's just gone wrong. And they don't want to see it because they don't want to admit they're alcoholics. They're not at that stage yet. It has to happen. Like something bad has to happen for them to realize. Like, you know how now they admit Xbox One gen wasn't that good? Because now it's hindsight. Now, after all, they couldn't see it while it was happening. J-Dub, we were telling them, like, bro, you got an Xbox One X. You got no goddamn games. They're like, oh, Crackdown and State of Decay, fucking Zoo Tycoon, and what was that little furry game? That Sea of Thieves, or what's that other shit? Look, Super Lucky's Tales, and we would joke on them with Diabetic Gating, but they honestly couldn't see, like, wait a minute, they right. What the fuck are we gonna do with Super Lucky's Tales? These motherfuckers gave us fucking, Phantom Dust with original assets? Like, yo, Crackdown flopped. Like, they couldn't see those games are flops until the new gen started. Now they look back and be like, oh yeah, our game sucked, but we're so much better now. They only see shit from a hindsight perspective. So they're not going to see the issues until years later when they look back and be like, oh yeah, we launched. Yeah, the launch of the Series X was trash because we didn't have no games. But they're going to admit that in 2029, 2030. But they're not going to admit it now because they don't want to be part of failure. That's it. And it's just weird. And it's just a consumer product. That's what's weird. It's just a consumer product. So if it sucks, oh well.
You know what I think it is? You know what? You can go first.
No. Please. I always go first.
Okay, so what I think it is, and I think it comes down to these two. Well, to this main reason. To me, what it really comes down to is the fact that Microsoft is an American company and Sony is a Japanese company. That's all I really think it comes down to. I think it's just an issue of pride and maybe going back to some, glory days of, or the victorious days of World War II with America, beating the Japanese. So I think it really comes down to that. I really do.
Historical context. He brought historical context into it. Like,
the only thing is, though, even here in America, PlayStation now sells Xbox. So I can't really see that because Americans are buying PlayStation than Xbox.
Because it's the better product, which then goes to my second point.
Okay.
Definitely Nintendo and Sega when they were around, and even now, to a certain extent with Sony, whereas, their PlayStation division is their most profitable division, whereas, Sony doesn't make, a myriad of electronic devices as they did, let's say, 21 years ago with the, getting rid of their cell phones and their VAIO products.
Sure.
The point that I'm making there is that, the reason why, these three companies can't afford to continuously make bad products or continuously make products that are failures is because of, if they did, that's their bread. Well, not so much PlayStation is their bread and butter, but it's, this is what they are known for. Microsoft is not known as a game. Microsoft was never known as a gaming company. Microsoft is known for their software. Sony is known for their hardware. Nintendo was known for its hardware, and when Sega was still around, it was known for its hardware. Microsoft was always known for its software, and even to this very day, that's what is pushing sales. Whereas again, going back to the original Xbox, the reason why Xbox as a brand is even able to continue is because of its failures are subsidized by Microsoft. Whereas I can tell you, I don't think I even have to really say this. Whereas I think we all understand this is that, hey, if Microsoft wasn't, well, at least 21 years ago, it was a multi-billion-dollar company, or even now today, it wasn't a multi-trillion-dollar company. man, the Xbox brand would have either, man, they would have discontinued that a long time ago, or they would have, sold that off to to whoever, or even, yeah, I believe that either it would have been discontinued, or they would have sold that off a long time ago. It's just the fact that that the Xbox brand is being subsidized by Microsoft. And then lastly, to your point, P Rock, because you made a good point as far as, hey, because I was a Sega person myself too. Yeah, we weren't, no Sega fan was responsible for the failure of Sega. It was Sega because, as you said, Sega, we wasn't, I didn't buy a 32X until it became $20. I didn't buy a Sega CD. I didn't buy, all these other peripherals that kind of blurred the lines between, am I in Gen 4 or am I going to Gen 5? Like, and I would say definitely after the Dreamcast forever, to me, was just too little too late. But I am going to put the blame on Xbox fanboys, fanboys, just because of the fact that it's like, hey, you guys don't have one example of failure or two examples of failure. You guys have at least three examples of failures, and the only exception to that would be the 360. The 360, it was really successful until I would say about. Matter of fact, we said it with, right when they came out, instead of concentrating on more video games, they concentrated on the Kinect. And then, of course, with the Xbox One generation, it was TV. So, it's like at some point, where do I, as a consumer, got to say, you know what? I can't support this any longer because of, I know that if I buy a video game system specifically for playing video games, and this kind of goes to M's point as to what he was saying about the cell, where it's like the cell was made for everything but video games. If I am buying a video game console for the fact for the sole purpose of playing video games and specifically first party video games, but Microsoft isn't really delivering on that, and they showed that during the Xbox One era. Why in the hell would I want to repeat the same mistake again and buy another system? Whereas even to this day, we're in 2023. We're damn near halfway towards we are damn near halfway through the 9th generation, and Xbox One really don't have that many first party titles out, regardless of how many studios they bought. So it was like, to me, that it is self-defeating. And this would be my last point. To me, I think that Nintendo, and I'm gonna just say with Nintendo, I think they fucked up 2 times. And the 2 times that they fucked up on was in '95 with the Virtual Boy, and in 2011 with the Wii U. And the only reason why the Wii U was fucked up is because of the naming convention. The Wii U as a system as itself, that wasn't bad. It was just that it was like, hey, what's the difference between the Wii U and the original Wii? And that's where I stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have an anecdote for you guys. Okay, this is something that I read in a business book years and years ago, so I'm going to completely misquote it, and I apologize for that. But essentially, it was a person who was talking, I think it was the CEO of McDonald's at the time, or the CFO, and he was talking to like a university class of students, and he was like, what is McDonald's main business? And, people gave basically the most obvious answer, right? Like fast food, or like, basically some kind of, you're selling burgers, you're selling food. Food is your main business. Because it was like, you should keep focused on your main business.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, you're actually
real
wrong.
estate.
My main business is real estate, exactly,
real estate,
right? Because
real estate.
McDonald's owns over $29 billion in real estate because they buy, They basically play real estate well. They buy land and premises somewhere really popular, and eventually that just keeps accruing in value. Now, here's the problem. I've always said this. Xbox was not focused on their main business. And what I mean by that is that they created solutions for problems that nobody wanted solved. Like Gamepass is a solution to a problem that nobody really had before they put it into the mind of gamers. People didn't really have problem paying for games because you always had other options. You could borrow from a friend, you could get it on sale, you could get it when there's a dirt cheap bin. Like, gaming was always accessible to people. So then they tried to come up with this new solution of day and date releases from first party, which again is a problem that nobody solved. And so nobody really needed to be solved. So for me, I'm always like, you didn't focus on your main business. You made moves, and in fact, you came with great solutions. Like even Kinect Kinect is a fantastic solution to a problem nobody had. Like, nobody was really like, hey, I don't want to play with a controller in my hand. And in fact, when you actually started solving that problem, you realize that there were deficiencies in that kind of like play model that you didn't encounter with a controller, right? So Xbox has been fantastic and it has been innovative, but in the wrong areas. And it would be like McDonald's going out of their way to make better burgers. Where it's like, yeah, but that's not your main business. Like, in fact, the food part is just really there to sustain your real estate component because that's where the money is.
Unless the chicken box, that chicken box slaps.
Yeah, no, except for the chicken box, which only did in one place.
I know in Germany.
But yeah. It will be like
hey,
be like
nothing like German engineering. There's not like good German engineering.
But yeah, guys, listen. At the end of the day, I always think that the problem with Xbox is Phil Spencer. He is the one that sets the vision for the team, and he keeps solving problems that gamers don't really have, while ignoring problems that people really do have. And that's the issue. That's the duality of Xbox there. They spend so much time solving things that people they're not really problems like that, while ignoring the big inferno fires that they have. Because you could say this, Emmanuel, what would be wrong with McDonald's serving better quality food, or having better quality venues, or cleaning more often, or making sure the bathrooms are clean? And there'll be nothing wrong with that because their main business isn't in trouble. Like, yeah. Imagine if they were losing just billions and billions of dollars in valuation for the properties, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna come up with a better menu." That's stupid. You're focusing your efforts on something that doesn't really add to your main business, but at the same time, it actually takes away attention from the problems that are plaguing your main business. So that's my little analogy for you guys, because I just want to show you that it's not that Xbox is inactive. Is that they are active on the wrong things. They are putting the ladder on the wrong wall, and they just keep on climbing.
All right, well, let's finish off. Go ahead, Jay. No, go ahead. Finish off.
I was just gonna say, I'll be honest.
Xbox is dog shit.
Like they just it's the fan. It's Phil Spencer's fault because he goaded them into a certain path where I think it's too late to change. He convinced them that buying games and supporting the hardware was not the way they should do it, right? He ended up telling them to play any and everywhere, and that's the future, right? He convinced them of cloud when he thought that was the future. He convinced them of Game Pass when he thinks that's the future, right? And so, therefore, they're not doing pretty much any of it. They've been stuck at Game Pass. Game Pass has been stuck at 25 million for the last 3 years. The consoles fucking still stuck at like 20 million, 21 million, while PlayStation is sitting at fucking 60, 65 million by the end of the fiscal year or whatever. And I think that has turned around and bite him in the ass because now he's sitting with these guys that literally don't want to spend any money. In every game, they try to add value to Game Pass. These guys are, or they try to add to Xbox. These guys say, well, is it in Game Pass? Will it come to Game Pass? We'll just sit here and wait for it to come to Game Pass, right? And that could be years and years down the line. So, but it's his fan base. It's the Xbox install base. These guys are just stuck. They don't want to buy games. They don't want to support. What do you do at this point in time? Like, I don't see a fix for that. I don't think that's something Phil Spencer can fix. He can't go back and say, okay, we want to go back to the old way of doing things. Now that we have all these publishers and developers, now we're serious. Now we want to go back to selling hardware and you going back to buying $65 and $70 games. Like, he can't do that now.
J-Dub, he can't do it, but someone new can. Because people do expect it from big companies that when there's a new leader in time, there can be a brand new direction. So yeah, Phil Spencer, like, he can't do it. He can't be like, hey guys, guess what? You're buying your games day and date again. He can't do that, but guess what? A new person, they'll be like, yep, this is the new regime. This is the new era of let's just sell a bond going forward. Phil Spencer just needs to go, man. Like, he's taken Xbox in a direction that hasn't worked out, and he just needs to be replaced. Somebody else can come in, and you know what? Listen, J-Dub, you and I, let's be honest. Let's be honest, all right? did you know these Xbox are gonna follow whoever? You know they're just gonna follow the new. If somebody new came in, let's say they hire you, J-Dub, and you were like, "Yep, I'm head of Xbox now. I'm gonna take this shit to the moon."
Yeah.
And you're like, "You guys are gonna buy your game." They're gonna be like, "Yep." Always wanted to. In fact, I've saved so much money from the years of not purchasing games that I have so much money for you. They will flip on a dime and just accept the new strategy. So that's a good thing. That's a good part about Phil Spencer's legacy. He has domesticated these people so much that they will just go wherever you tell them to.
Yep.
So shout out to JD Gamer. His first post was, "What year are y'all living in? This right now is 2023, not 2022 or any other year. Xbox makes more money than any other time it has existed. As a bossness, it's up. And Phil did that for them." What do you think about that statement? Xbox is making that he's saying Xbox is making more money within Xbox as compared to any other time Xbox has existed.
I will say this: he's talking about revenue.
He's right.
The problem
He's true.
with revenue is
revenue.
He sees. But the thing is that spending the most money to make that more money than they've ever done before. And in fact, I'm sorry, but those balance sheets, if you attribute everything, exactly, if you attribute everything to Xbox, that's the thing about Microsoft. That's such a big corporation. They can be creative about how they account for things. They can, Activision. That was Microsoft Gaming. That's not Xbox. So Xbox is profitable, So the thing is, if we're being honest, just layman to layman, they are spending so much money to make that much revenue to the point where when you look at the ratio, it's probably not pretty. I'm sorry. They probably were more successful just straight up in the 360 era. Probably even in the Xbox One era. Let's be honest.
Well, no, so they lost money in Xbox. Actually, they didn't make profit. They didn't make profit in the OG Xbox era. So, but they saw that as getting your foot in the door. So it was an acceptable generation of loss. Then you had the 360 came. Then you had the Red Ring there, so they didn't make a lot of money. And then Xbox One was a disaster. So here's my question to you guys. You guys says the guy with a new direction, so they could go back to, not this Game Pass stuff, but back to sell games at $70 and focus on selling hardware. But here's the problem. When have they been successful selling hardware? They told us they always lose.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the guy. I think you guys are confusing with them physically doing it and not thinking were they ever actually successful at doing it. No, I don't think you guys see the fine line for that.
Pure. They were successful during the 360 era. It's just that the Red Ring of Death took out their success, right? But the thing is, the Xbox One and the Xbox Series haven't had the Red Ring of Death situation. So they fixed the whole hardware unreliability problem. And that was the biggest problem from the 360. That's the one thing they should have just fixed, which they did. And then they tried to make TV. So what I'm saying is this. They have proven they can sell hardware, and they can sell hardware with games. They've done it. The problem is that...
But look what it took for them to do it. It took Sony to be at its worst ever.
Yeah.
Think about it. What if PS3 would have launched at $400, no Blu-ray bullshit, no cell processor, and it wasn't delayed? Because remember, PlayStation was delayed to 2006. What if Sony actually created a comparable, hardware that wasn't $600, was $400, easy to develop for, and it launched in 2005 right with the Xbox? Nobody would have bought an Xbox 360.
Do you know what I think? I think that they would have done what they're doing now, buying publishers. They would have just done that back then.
No, they didn't have it. They weren't $1 trillion company back then. They were $1 billion company back then. Microsoft wasn't $1 trillion.
But the thing is, the people that are buying...
Think about it this way.
Billions back then.
Do you know why GTA 4 ended up on 360? Because Rockstar told Sony that they can't keep this game. GTA 4 was supposed to be exclusive to PS3. They were still under contract. They broke the contract because Rockstar told them, you are not selling enough. We're going to be hurting if we keep this exclusive to you. So Sony cut the deal. Jack Tretton cut the deal, said, fine, this is the deal. You could go multi-plat, but you owe us an exclusive, which was eventually would have been the Agent. That was the deal. They were supposed to make an Agent game, their next game, for us. I don't know what happened. I don't know why that deal broke. Maybe they traded that for marketing rights. I don't know. But the agent, the reason that whole thing happened was because GTA 4 was supposed to be exclusive for PS3, but the PS3 just couldn't do it. There's a lot of games that broke away from PlayStation. DMC was supposed to be exclusive. Capcom's like, we can't keep this game exclusive. Assassin's Creed, when it first shown, it was announced exclusive for PS3. Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft broke things from that. Now imagine, let's rewrite history a little bit. PlayStation 3 launches at $400. None of that weird stuff. Assassin's Creed exclusive. GTA 4 exclusive. Devil May Cry exclusive. Final Fantasy 13 exclusive. You still think 360 would have been successful?
Do you know what?
It would have been another PlayStation. It would have, listen, if that would have happened, that generation would have been done for Xbox. Xbox would have been like, we're done. 2 back-to-back generations where we get slaughtered? Get the fuck out of here. We're done.
No, but it was only okay. First of all, I can't even argue with that because Microsoft has a tendency to let things go.
Yeah, you saw what they did with Windows Phone. They're like, oh, hell nah. And they bought Nokia. They spent $6 billion. 4 years later, they said, fuck out of here.
You know
fuck out of here, bro. We're done with this bullshit.
Fuck Windows Phone. That didn't hurt as much as the Zune. The Zune was amazing.
Zune was another one. Okay? Zune HD. I prefer the Zune. Jesus I love Christ. The Zune.
The software for it was amazing. It was so much better than Windows Media Player.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes, listen, absolutely.
You're already putting me at a disadvantage because I have to defend Xbox. Yes.
Zune HD was the shit.
Give me a few a few handicaps here, okay? First of all, if you're going to take away the stupidity of the cell, I take away the stupidity of the Red Ring of Death, okay? First thing. Second, yes, they were not a $1 trillion company.
What about the price?
They would have
there was a lot of stupidity on the PlayStation.
Hey, the companies that would have been purchasing.
What about you? You could work 2 jobs. We're gonna make you work 2 jobs for this thing.
Hey, listen, they could have bought Activision for probably just a few $1 billion rather than $70 billion.
Yeah.
They could have bought BioWare. Remember, they were working exclusively with BioWare.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm saying this: they would have gone on a spending spree of their own, being like, okay, you're locking up all of these exclusives, but we're gonna buy all of these developers because those developers were not necessarily on the publishers even. Yeah. And I think they would have gone for Steam. I think they would have played the PC move earlier. They would have been like, hey, Valve, before you become this big giant thing that you're going to become, how about we just buy you now?
I think they would have just been dead. It's whatever. Oh, all right. So next question for JD Gamer. He says, in 2023, what platform holder released the fewest first-party games? Hint, it's not Nintendo, not Xbox. It's PS3, yeah. In 2023, it's PS. Okay. So they did release the fewest first party, which is true, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they had a bad year, right, in terms of first party output. Why? Because one, they actually launched games for their PlayStation 4 2020. They actually had first party games ready for 2021. 2020 launch, 2021, 2022. This is the stuck year, right? So, but just like PlayStation and Sony fashion, which one thing they always do, they get relationships, deals, and whatever with third-party exclusives to fill in those gaps. Sony always did that. That's why Sony had Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy X, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? They had Soul Reaver. They always had, like, you know, relationships, whatever, to fill the gaps and stuff like that, right? But just like anything else, it's not like Sony first party is not doing anything, because once them guys get their shit launched, that's when people are going to be like, oh shit, you know, PlayStation first party's hitting again and stuff like that. So you have a lull in 2023. But what's funny is, though, in 2023, the most impactful first party games, which was Nintendo and Sony. Spider-Man and Zelda were the most impactful games for their brand, right? That's why, like, hardly anyone's buying an Xbox, because you're gonna brag about Hi-Fi Rush. Like, Hi-Fi Rush, I'm not saying it's a bad game, whatever, but no one's going out there saying, ooh, Hi-Fi Rush, Redfall, yeah, I gotta get Xbox. Ain't nobody saying that. Nobody's jumping. No one's doing cartwheels and car flips for Xbox first party. Starfield's really the closest they got, and you saw how fast that's fizzling out, right? Even the modders, one of the major modders, it says, yeah, I'm not doing no more mods for this game. Fuck that. It's boring.
I find it very funny. A person can fix their lips to say that. after having a year like 2022 where Xbox literally didn't release any fucking games.
Yeah.
And they were perfectly okay for that, right?
Yeah,
They
I
were.
remember that one.
It was so dry out there where they had to hype up Pentiment, right? A fucking drawing cartoon book medieval game. Like that is the definition.
They don't like movie games, but they like book games. But
they like picture books.
Yeah, but so how could a person fix their lips to say Sony didn't, had a to even say what he said after Sony released Horizon Call of the Mountain, Horizon Burning Shores, right? Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, and on and on and on. We can keep going if I just
that was
want to go into the weeds of things, right? It's
but they arranged to give that to the audience.
Yeah. But I just find it funny how it's like, Sony only had 1 or 2 first party games this year when Xbox literally had 0 first party last year, and they launched with 0 fucking first party games in 2020, right? They only released 1 first party game in 2021, which was Halo, which bombed for the time. It just the delusion, like that's why, and this is why I do what I do on Twitter, Puerto Rico. This guy that said that, this is exactly why I am the way I am on Twitter. This is why I show them no mercy. This is why I mock them and make fun of them, because these guys aren't. They're not even worth the a logical conversation to be had. Right? They should be ridiculed and mocked and making up shit like Xbox tax and all kind of goofy shit after you done launched not 1 but 2 next generation fucking consoles with no fucking games, and you had to turn around and spend $100 billion, and you're still failing at fucking selling Game Pass and Xboxes to people. It is what it is. And I'm gonna be honest. Can't wait for fucking Xbox to go away. I know they're gonna exist as a third-party publisher, right? Shit. But I can't wait for the console itself to go away. Only so you.
I don't think the console's gonna go away. I don't think it's gonna
go away.
I think
it's go away.
So let me hit up.
It will.
I would say, in fact, this is going to segue into the conversation. So JD Gamer says, MS demands that the Xbox division makes money. That came out in the court case. So all this Xbox is running negative is nonsense. MS cares about money. I absolutely agree with that statement, right? I don't think the console going away. Like, I will say this, right? Because I think, Xbox. So here's the thing. So we using the terms first and third party, to easily describe the scenario. I don't think those terms apply to Microsoft anymore. I think there's ways for Microsoft to increase their revenue, get more money from game sales in the console space, in the PC space, whatever. This is what I would do. This is how, with that whole thing with, Tim Stewart, whatever. I was thinking of a video, how dissect, but that's probably a conversation for a more later thing. But let's say if I was working for Phil now, right? And he asked me, and he'll be like, hey, Puerto Rock, we need to take advantage of PlayStation, Nintendo's dominance in the console market, because that's where the gamers are at. But at the same time, our console still has to be part of that strategy. You need to figure out how to balance that. That's what you get paid for. You have until, what is it? What's today's date? Today's Tuesday?
Yeah.
He'll tell me, you're already late. So figure it out. I'll be like, fuck, Phil. All right. This is what I would do, right? If I was told I was working for Microsoft and they told me, hey, how can we take advantage of Nintendo and PlayStation's dominance in market? And they're going to still dominate in the future, but your console still has to be relevant in some form or fashion, because that is still one way to get Game Pass in a market where Game Pass won't be on PlayStation and Nintendo. So if you want Game Pass available to console gamers, the only console you can do it with is the Xbox, because Nintendo and Sony's not hearing that. So that's why we got to keep the console. We got to have a way to give console gamers access to Game Pass, right? Sure, you're going to have your phone gamers, your TV gamers, but there's still console gamers that want native hardware. And I'm like, all right. So if you tell me to do this, I'll be like, this would be my strategy. All right, how can I make it relevant? What I would do is similar to what Sony does with PlayStation. We'll put our first party, any platform that supports Game Pass, day and date. Day and date on Game Pass, day and date on sales. For PlayStation and Nintendo, I will put our games a year later, except it will not be all games. Some games will go on Nintendo, some games will go on PlayStation. At no point would PlayStation get the full library of Xbox first party, and at no point will PlayStation get the full library of Xbox. Neither one. You're going to get some of it. Nintendo will get some, PlayStation will get some. The only way over time, as we put all 40 of our studios on that pipeline making games, the only way to get the full effect of Xbox first party, you have one or two decisions. Either buy a PlayStation and a Nintendo and combine them, or you go to PC, or you go to our console. Those are your options. Whatever options you choose, whatever. But Nintendo by themselves or PlayStation by themselves, you will not get the full game support of our games. You're going to get partial. Whatever I feel is best fit for PlayStation and really sells, and then whatever best fit for Nintendo, because it depends on their hardware, you know? So maybe, you know, again, you know, usually Nintendo don't make super hardware. So maybe our cartoony looking games best fit that platform because it's in line with our Xbox Series S. So yeah, Nintendo gets these. But those games will not be on PlayStation. But PlayStation will get more of our intensive graphical type games. All right, you get those. Maybe a few multiplayer that's just free to play across everybody, like Sea of Thieves, that's fine. But for the most part, I would create a condition where if you're a PlayStation gamer and over time you're enjoying Xbox games, but you're kind of upset you're not getting everything, you might consider getting Xbox as a secondary console so you can start getting all. You know, kind of like what Sony did to some PC gamers. When PC gamers started getting PlayStation games, they'd be like, yo, this shit's actually popping. You know what? When the PS5 comes out, I'm getting a PS5 as my secondary platform because I want all the PlayStation goodness day and date. I don't want to wait for a few games or not realize which game's going to come, whatever. I don't want to go through with that. The games are good. I'm enjoying it. You know what? I'm going to get a PS5. PC is still my main platform, but for those PlayStation exclusives, day one, I'm cool with it. I will try to create that same mentality in the console space. If you're enjoying Xbox games, but you're thinking, damn, that's on Nintendo. It's not on my PlayStation. You know what? To avoid all this mix and match stuff, I'll just get an Xbox, subscribe to Gamepass. I'll have my PlayStation as my main console, or I'll have my Nintendo as my main console, and then I'll have my Xbox as my secondary console with Game Pass, and boom. That's how I would do it. It still gives relevance to the Xbox console because that is the only way, at least in the console market, you get the full experience of Xbox. It's the only way you could get Game Pass. Sure, you get some games on PlayStation, but it's not all of it, and it's not on their service. And you get some games on Nintendo, but it's not all of it, and it's not on their service. It's just a portion of it. And we're making the money. We're making the money on game sales. We're taking advantage of Nintendo. But if gamers are tired of this split identity and they want the full thing, well, I'm sorry, there's only one way you're going to get it if you want to stay on consoles. You're going to have to come get an Xbox because that's the only way you're going to get the full Xbox experience of everything we provide. And you don't even have to buy it. Just subscribe to Game Pass and you're good. That's how I would manage it going forward. Okay. And to keep the console relevant.
Hey, Polo, can you read the next chat from JD Gamer? I want to address
Let me keep going. Oh, yeah. So the next one. Let's not make excuses for PS when they don't have games, and this is not 2022. Get out of the past, or will all PS fans be talking about third-party games that will hit other platforms forever? All right. So your first mistake. So let me just tackle that. So your first mistake is don't have games. Get out of the past. Okay. So in a couple of weeks we'll be in 2024. So don't talk about 2023 then.
Yep.
You see, that's why you guys don't really make smart arguments. So you want to hold on to 2023, but you don't want to talk about 2024. You want to move on from it. So guess what? We're just going to move on from 2023 then. I'm just saying. If you can move on from 2022, believe me, people are going to move on from 2023. Let me put it this way. PS4, the first 2 years was bad. Even I said it multiple times. If you guys followed me a long time, I didn't buy a PS4 until 2015. Like 2013, 2014, I was like, there is nothing that I'm really interested. It wasn't until they came out with one game, and it was just really one game, Bloodborne. When they came out with Bloodborne, that was the game for me. And then a lot of it was multiplats, I'll be honest. Elder Scrolls Online I was playing. I bought The Witcher, but for whatever reason I didn't play it. I didn't start playing that till like 2 years ago, really, right? Batman Arkham Knight, I was playing that because I'm a huge Batman fanboy. Then I started playing Destiny. But again, it was still pretty much multiplayer heaven. It wasn't until 2016 where I can honestly say PlayStation started really hitting it with the games. And that was 3 years after launch. 2016 is when they really started cutting it up. Sure, 2015 they had announcements. So you knew it was coming. You know, they announced The Last of Us. They announced Horizon Zero Dawn, right? So you knew the games were coming. But to actually play in 2015, they really wasn't hitting. I didn't give a shit about Drive Club. They did have Infamous. Bloodborne was the shit.
Infamous Second Son wasn't good.
But I liked Infamous. And First Light was great too. But think about it. Infamous, Killzone, Shadowfall, come on, bro. Knack, come on, bro. Zoo Tycoon, Godzilla, like what the fuck are we talking about? Drive Club, I don't like race. Some people, the racing fans, loved it. I don't fuck with racing games, right? So that scratched that list off for me. There really wasn't anything for the PS4. Like when even Sony admitted it. Sony admitted that their lineup was sparse. All right, go ahead.
Can I say right off this part? Because this is actually exactly where I want to jump on off. Listen, JD Gamer, this is exactly what I was talking about the victim mentality for you guys. You guys have been told for so many years, correctly, by the way, that you had no games. That now you think that the answer was always a quantity of games. Like we ever meant it literally that you had literally no games. No. What we mean sister sellers, okay? GOTY contenders. You still don't have that. Like, you are still in the exact same place you were 10 years ago when we say Xbox has no games, okay? You bought all of these companies, and that's cute. That's beautiful, okay? I'm so happy for you. You still have no games. Because the thing is, we were never just referring to the quantity of games, like the little count them, list them, because that's what you guys love to do now. Oh my God, the list. Oh, the list, the endless list, the list of things where 80% of the things are things you announced 3 years ago. You love the list. It's amazing. But the point is this, just like people was listing games before on the PS4, those games did nothing because they were not games that counted. They just didn't count. They don't count. Just because they existed didn't compel anyone to buy this PS4 because much like P-Rock, I came onto the PS4 when it was like 2016, I think, when I got my PS4. Because there was nothing to get it for. Why would I bother? Why? Yeah. No. Those cute little things that, yes, I could also go and be like, oh, look, let me list Zoo Type, whatever the fuck. No, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's the difference between you saying like, hey, I own 8 cars. And then Jade will be like, I own 1. And then you're like, yeah, here's this like Mazdas and Priuses and
he has a Ferrari.
Basic Toyota Camrys, and he pulls out 1 Ferrari. Like, you talk about how, they only have 1 game, and then the 1 game is Spider-Man 2. Like, come on, bro. Do you not see what the difference is? Like, do you not see how Spider-Man 2 is that aspirational product that people want to have? When I hear J-Dog talk about the things he has, I'm like, damn. That at the age of 40, I also can just be like, yeah, I'm just going to shut the conversation down. I'll be like, as a Ducati owner, as a Ferrari owner, as a super yacht owner, as a hotel manager and owner, as a bank partner, as a lawyer firm, and J-Dub gets to say cool shit, and he only needs to say one of them in order to just shut it. You think we're going to have a car garage conversation with J-Dub now? When he's like, I have a Ferrari? You think anyone's going to be like, yeah, I have a Toyota Prius from 2012. It's economical. No one is going to talk about that. And that's the same way that PlayStation gets to shut down the conversation on Xbox. When you guys say that you have Avowed, when you have, Hellblade and everything, and it's like, yeah, well, we have God of War, we have Spider-Man. It's like Blade is. Listen, guys, don't do it too quickly because Blade isn't coming for a few more years. Just let that simmer patiently, okay? But as soon as Blade is within like 6 months of coming out, you guys should go crazy about Blade. You should be like, we have Blade now. Like, because that would be your Ferrari. That would be your Halo product. That would be your Halo. That would be your Audi R8, okay? Just wait. Just don't do it too quickly. You don't want to shoot your load too quickly because then it has no impact. But then, like a year out from Blade, when you get that trailer with the release date, hey, listen, Xbox, you have my permission to just go crazy bonkers on that shit. Because Blade is the first game, product, IP, whatever I have seen in years from your camp where I'm like, you know what? That's pretty damn cool right there. It wasn't Starfield. It wasn't Halo Infinite. It wasn't Forza Horizon 5. It wasn't all of these games that you hyped it up to be all of that. It's not Hellblade. Okay, Hellblade was never meant to take that. Hellblade isn't that. Okay, just Hellblade is like a nice bicycle. I like a nice bicycle. I love bicycles. But the point is, it's not a Ferrari. Okay, so just don't put Hellblade in the conversation against God of War. It's never meant to step up to that plate. But Blade, you should absolutely put it against Spider-Man 2. And you should hope that it matches, even if it reaches 65% of what Spider-Man 2 can do. You should totally hold it as a win and be like, yes, we have a game. Until then, just stop listing things because you have an inferiority complex. It's not about that.
MS has the money. So his next one, he says, MS has the money to end this so-called console war and sell consoles at a rate never seen. How? GTA 6 and Football Club exclusive on Xbox plus exclusive content. I mean,
it wouldn't matter.
But
they would still lose. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It don't matter. Here's the thing.
I mean, that's some wishful thinking, you know. I mean, if you could get GTA 6 exclusive, right, to the console, but I don't think Microsoft has the energy to even bother selling consoles like that.
Yo,
make a move.
They should. I'm here for the fuckery. I would love it. if Xbox went out there,
that would be impactful.
Hey, listen. You remember that shit we did with what was it? Oh god, what was it? Tomb Raider. Yeah. Remember that shit we put with Tomb Raider? Yeah, we're coming in at it again. Oh, and by the way, everybody that keeps going like, oh, it was so unfair the way that Microsoft was treated. Here's the difference. Tomb Raider was a sequel to a game that was already on the PlayStation. People always keep talking about that. I'm like, wait, what? Don't you get why people were mad? Like, and the thing is, I wasn't mad at Xbox, okay? I was mad at Square Enix. Like, fuck Xbox.
Because they released it too early. Yeah. Because I was saying this game is probably always meant to be a timed exclusive, but once again, Square Enix panicked. I ain't gonna say panicked, but they started noticing Xbox One sales wasn't keeping up with PS4. So they probably had to say it to appease investors, but yeah, it was kind of fucked up that they didn't keep the silence behind timed exclusivity silent. And then at that point, I think that also changed the culture, because ever since then, you hardly ever hear a timed exclusive not be known that it's a timed exclusive. Like, those days are over. Like, back in the days when you had a timed exclusive, you really didn't know it was timed exclusive. You assumed it was exclusive until they officially announced that it's coming to the platform. Now, it's not even like that no more. Now they tell you up front, this is timed exclusive. So, like, that game changed the culture of how they do timed exclusives. I remember back in the days, it used to be, I remember BioShock. I swear to God. I remember when BioShock was announced for Xbox and PC only, everybody was like, when's it coming to PS3? When's it coming to PS3? And the developers and the publishers saying, no, it's not coming to PS3. When they launched the game, the PC guys found the PS3 file in the whatever. So they were like, wait a minute, there's a PS3 file. So it is a version. Yeah, them guys, yo, for real, like, yo, play the game. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like, how would you even begin doing that? Like, you finding PS3 files in the code? Like, what? So they went back in the BioWare boards.
They're just like, dig through the files.
And I swear to God, they went into the forums, right? They went to the 2K forums and they were telling them, hey, you know, we found the files. We know it's coming to PS3. Just tell us. The developer in the forum said, stop asking us about the PS3 version. It's not coming. If we get one more comment, we're not going to make games for PlayStation ever again. Enough. I was like, yo. And then like 6 months later, hey, we're announcing BioShock for the PS3. But that dude, oh man, I wish keeping receipts was a thing back then. Because that dude said, if y'all ask one more comment about this, we're just not gonna make PlayStation games, period. Yo, devs were ruthless right now. That's what I miss the old days, because they were more brass. They didn't have to worry about cancel culture. And they said what they wanted to say, man. Those days were the good old days. But I completely remember that. All right. So, hey, I mean, that's a good wish, but I think that cat's out of the bag, because, you know, unless they buy 2K, Grand Theft Auto 6 is a multi-plat. You know, And I think, and chances are PlayStation has the marketing rights. Football Club, I mean, that's EA. So I don't know how you're going to convince I don't know how you're going to convince Football Club to be exclusive on Xbox, only because I think Football Club, well, even though it's not licensed though, but I would say like games like MLB, Madden, whatever, anything that has a license, the challenge is the sports don't want the games exclusive. That was one of the things why MLB's on Xbox. MLB's like, nah, because that's their brand. So why is their brand stuck on just one platform? So, but hey, it's a good wish. I mean, if Microsoft's willing to spend 30% of their shares on GTA 6, then go ahead.
You should encourage them to. Like, honestly, guys, like, don't let Phil Spencer get you down. Get rid of this Phil Spencer guy and then put some money in there that's going to use Microsoft's money in a way that's actually going to make an impact. None of this bullshit multi-plat stuff. Like, I don't want Blade on PlayStation, okay? And I'm not saying that Blade isn't going to be good. I hope that it's amazing. But I want competition. And when we were talking about competition, I always wanted this. So you know what? Get somebody who's going to spend another $100 billion. And you know what? If they need to spend all of that on GTA 6, hey, get it, make it happen. Get your platform back up there.
So I'm going to read your next chat, but I see in your chat, JD, you said Battlegate Tony. No. So again, like I said earlier, GTA 4 was supposed to be exclusive to PlayStation 3. Rockstar needed permission from Sony to make it multi-plat. Their deal was set. Xbox was not going to get it. But PlayStation realized they suck. You know, the PS3 was just not selling well. And they're not going to screw over Rockstar in the process, or any third-party multi-plat, third-party guys. Because there was a whole bunch of people that went to Sony and says, hey, you're just not selling well. In fact, sales were so bad, and I mentioned this on the channel multiple times, in 2009, this is 3 years after the console launch, right? 2009, 3 years already. It's been 3 years already. Bobby Kotick was still the CEO back then. He said if Sony doesn't figure out a way to improve sales, Activision might stop supporting the platform. So sales was that shitty for the PS3. So it wasn't because of Microsoft getting DLC. That was all Sony allowing GTA 4 to even be on Xbox or timed whatever. So that was more on Sony's whatever. Now for your super chat, if you want to take it there, then P-Rock, let's make a bet on Xbox. We'll release more first-party games than PS in 2024, or do we do a double hot chip and buy a game and stuff like that? Microsoft might release more first-party games. Let me put it to you this way. Xbox released more first-party games, but I would not trade Xbox lineup for what I got on PlayStation 4. You out your mind. Final Fantasy 16 and Spider-Man takes the cake. I don't care about Hi-Fi Rush and definitely Redfall. You out your mind. And I don't even play racing games, so scratch Forza off the list. And that's not cap, because I don't play Gran Turismo either. So scratch Forza off the list. You literally, for me, got Starfield. Literally. That's it. That will be the only game a whole year. And I will not pick Starfield over Spider-Man. Not on Spider-Man's worst day would I pick Starfield over Spider-Man. You got to be crazy if you think I'm going to miss out on Spider-Man 2.
When are you going to play? When are you going to play Starfield?
So what? I guess I don't know if they did the patches. So I'll talk to my PC friends. They're like, yeah, don't worry about it, because I got a 3050 that I'm playing with.
Oh, you gonna play on PC? You're not gonna get an Xbox?
I don't got it. Hell no, I'm not playing that shit on Xbox. Be locked at 30? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'll play on GeForce now before I do that shit.
All right then.
I'll play on GeForce now. Before I play that shit. Yeah, I'll play on that shit before I play on fucking, yeah. No, sir. But yeah. And right now, I'm looking forward to, there's 3 games I'm looking forward to in Xbox future. In the entire future. I don't even care about Call of Duty or whatever. Hellblade. And I'm one of the original people that actually played Hellblade when it came out and actually hyped it when it came out. Yeah, oddly enough. Not these fake dudes that now all of a sudden love Hellblade. I was there. From the beginning. They still haven't played it. Yeah, they got 18 hours and somehow only got 2 trophies. How? Like the trophies are automatic as you play it. The trophies are automatic. You beat every level, you'll get an achievement. Yeah. It's automatic. There is no way.
Automatic is the collectible one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm missing. Yeah, it's impossible to play Hellblade. To play Hellblade for 18 hours and you know we're beating it. That's crazy. But it's impossible to play the game for 18 hours and got 2 achievements. There's no way. It's automatic with everything you do. Like, get the fuck out of here. Anyway. So, Hellblade, Avowed, and the Clockwork game.
You're looking to forge a disavowed?
Oh yeah,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it gives me like a it give me well Obsidian does make good RPGs. Like I'm kind of disappointed on the graphics, but they do make good RPGs. They do make good RPGs. Yeah, it's just I'm just now it kind of looks like Outer Worlds type graphics now, which I didn't mind Outer Worlds. I enjoyed Outer Worlds. I didn't mind Outer Worlds.
Let's stop it, man. It should have like Sea of Thieves graphics.
It's cartoony. Like Outer Worlds is also a bit cartoony. It doesn't have that, but
Xbox just don't make photorealistic games like Sony do. That's just the problem.
Not really interested in Fable. I never liked Fable. I played the first one, beat the first one, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not playing this shit again. I didn't really care for it.
For me, the game that I want to see come out from them is Blade, definitely. I do want to see how...
Oh, yeah, Blade, obviously, but that's like 2028.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Hellblade, I don't think Hellblade should have gotten a sequel. I'm just going to say it. Like, I don't know. I don't think that story could carry a sequel. I think the style, like, they should have had another character other than Senua in order to explore the things that they were explaining, because it was more of an experience than it was, an actual game. Yeah. I think it should have been a different protagonist. And then I think it would have been far more interesting. The writing in that game, nothing indicates, oh yeah, you can get a sequel out of this one, So I was disappointed that they went that way. I think they should have called it Hellblade 2, but then still somebody else, like not Senua Saga, just a brand new person that was going through something similar and dealing with similar themes. But I still look forward to seeing what the game looks like at the end. So I really hope that people do enjoy that.
Yeah. So those are the three: the Clockwork, Hellblade, and Avowed. That's it. That's pretty much what they announced. And we don't know.
What about you?
We don't know if this. The only one out of that group that's 2024 is Hellblade, right? Did they give a window?
Yes, no, they gave nothing. There's only that
they have no release dates.
Xbox has no dates. That's what I've been saying.
They have no dates. So I mean.
That's all we could do. That's like anyway. Hey, let me finish off. Oh, go ahead. Before I finish off, what you want to say?
I was gonna say with Xbox, it kind of really doesn't matter anyway because that shit's in Game Pass for free. I mean, those are free subscription games anyway. So
shout out to D Truth. D Truth said in the chat, "Hey, P Rock was on that ranting about the sales of Hellblade. Shit had me dying. So if see only the old school dudes, boy." Boy, I was in my bag. I was drunk. Man, you got to see that video. Extreme, you got to see that video. That was when I was working with a 4080p camera and PlayStation's little earpiece. Those were my initial early days of YouTube. Boy, when I found out that shit only sold, 150K after a month between two platforms, I was like, what? We hyped the shit out of this game and nobody bought it, man? If you don't get your punk asses out of here. Ain't nobody. What?
People hyped it?
Yeah. Oh, you have no idea, boy. Hellblade was hyped on Twitter, boy. Wow. That shit was hyped. I hyped it, but I bought and played it, and it was $30.
Yeah.
So $30, great graphics, Ninja Theory. Everybody was like, oh, I loved Into the West, DMC, all this bullshit. Boy, game came out, ain't nobody play that shit, bro.
Okay, what's the modern equivalent of Hellblade then? Like, what's that game that was super hyped and then people just did not show up for it? Have you had another one?
I don't know. What game would be that? I know Hellblade was that game, bro. I made a video and I ranted the fuck out of it, bro. 250K, that's what it was. I'm like, yo, you got niche Japanese games that sell 250K on PS4. You telling me this shit? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This Gaia be selling 250K. Boy, and that shit uses PS2 graphics. They're always a gen behind when they make a new Disgaea. A new Disgaea game made for the PS3, it looks like PS2. They make it for the PS4, it makes it, they're always a gen behind, but yet that game sells like 250, 300K because it only takes $10 to make. Boy, I was like, yo, and I was drunk too? Oh my God, bro. It was like a 40-minute rant. I was mad as hell.
Just a quick shit talkers. Just a quick one. I don't believe in Rise of the Ronin. I'm not gonna get it. That shit has PS3 graphics, okay? I'm out of there.
Oh, so it's
when it
Team
drops,
Ninja.
And then you
play Neo? Did you ever play Neo?
I tried it, but then they had PS3 graphics. I shut it down.
Oh, so then you're not going to be interested in it. Yeah, that's Team Ninja. Team Ninja's known for its combat and gameplay. All their games are combat centric. Great combat, great gameplay. Not so much the graphics.
For me, it looks like Yakuza.
If you think about it, it's just like Bethesda, right? They don't make graphics.
Oh, yeah.
You got to put in 25 hours.
Yeah, and I have to change my thinking. You know,
you got to change your standards.
You got to play new games.
No, but I would say Team Ninja's combat is great. They're really, that's what they do. I mean, hell, they're ninjas. That's what they do. They're all about that combat.
I just want to say that I don't play games only for the graphics. Like, I play Child of Light. It's all about graphics, about whether a game is beautiful or not. Gaming is art. It's supposed to be pleasing to the eyes. And
that's not pleasing. It's not pleasing. That shit.
Even looks like this new one, Metaphor Fntastic, the one from like the Persona 5 developers. I looked at it, I'm like, oh my god. Like, what is with these developers just not putting out, like, you look at it, it's still got jagged edges, man. Like, are you the rapper? Like, what is this?
That should cut your retina? That should just start slicing your eyeballs.
I'm not putting it on my screen. Hey, and you know what, guys? I respect my TV. I pay money for this shit. I'm not putting it on my screen. I'm sorry. Like, fuck that. Jagged edges, like I can see pixels in my 4K screens. Fuck off. No.
All right, so we're gonna end the show with the Joker. I guess he has new content out, and my man's trying to get that money. So let's hear. Let me make sure I have the volume up. Let's hear what he got to say.
GTA, I'm giving you the biggest free marketing you got entire history of running this GTA game. For that, I want an extra $1 million. Y'all taking forever to respond back to me. You see that? Find the other character. Find the other person in Florida they betrayed that character from. I'll wait. I will wait. GTA, we got to talk. You think I'm playing? You got 3 days. 3 days before my lawyers go crazy on this case. This is not like the Lizzie Lohan case. This is not like the Lizzie Lohan case. I got hard evidence. Hard evidence. GTA, I'm giving you the biggest free marketing you got in the entire history of running this GTA game. For that,
I like this dude, bro. I'm gonna try to get him on the podcast.
Forever.
You know I don't invite nobody. Watch. I'm gonna get this dude on the podcast. I'm gonna be like, bro, watch. I'm gonna reach out and be like, yo, I got a poppin' podcast. It's called 60 Frames. Let's hear your truth, dog. We're gonna do this. We're gonna let GTA what the fucks know. I'm gonna get him. Watch. I'm gonna get this dude. You know I don't invite nobody on this shit. I'm gonna get this dude. I'm gonna get him. Watch. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna get the joke up in this dude. I'm gonna let him know, yo, tell your story, bro, cause 60 frames no lag. You getting this dude, bro.
You should.
Yo, watch. Everybody out here getting Phil Spencer. They getting Sean Layden. I got the Joker, dog. That's what we do. 60 frames. Everybody getting these fancy dudes. They getting industry execs and developers. Fuck that. We need to preach the truth.
I will wait.
We will wait.
GTA, we got to talk.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
You're going to get on this quick. He gave them the best marketing they've ever had in the entire history.
Ever. I'm gonna get this dude. I'm gonna get this dude on 60 frames. Somebody, I need y'all to DM me his Twitter account. Send that shit in my DM. I'm gonna get this dude on the podcast.
You can see his TikTok account right there. Come on, bro. Put some effort in. Don't be sending the Glimmer Man after something you can find out yourself.
Nah. I gotta put him to work. By the time I know, I'll have his social security number. I'll have his phone number by the end of the week. They're gonna, I got my piece in the chat. I'm gonna get this dude. Everybody getting Sean Layden. I'm gonna get this dude.
Oh, man.
Hey, Jendo, aren't you a social network owner too? You can get this guy.
Everybody getting David Jaffrey on their stuff. They got the developers of Remedy. Who the fuck I get on 60 frames? I get this dude. And J-Dub, you're gonna be on the podcast too. All of y'all gonna be with me. All of y'all, all right? We're doing this. We're doing this together.
I don't want this.
Yeah, we don't know. We are on this together. Blood in, blood out. All right.
I'm not American.
Blood in, blood out. There is no IGN article. You can't cancel 60 frames.
I'm gonna be down on there in the comments. That's good. That's good.
J-Dub's like, oh man, don't do it, Puerto Rico. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get this dude. You know, everybody's trying to get, you know, all these other dudes. Not me. Everybody's trying to get Charlazander. Nope. You don't get that. You get dudes like this. I'm gonna start contacting the worst that's out there and bring them onto the podcast.
Be like, what?
I'm gonna get. All right, hey, we're gonna do our outros. We'll start with, here we go. M, what's going on?
Hey, listen, guys. It was such a pleasure being here. Okay, I'm not scared of this guy, by the way, or coming on the podcast. I'm terrified. Okay, I don't want my face. So you can see I put my real face up there. I can't have that at the same time. Okay,
you coming? Right? We're doing this. 65 is no lie.
I'm sliding in the comment section.
This is gonna be like Geraldo Rivera when that fight broke out. Hey, yo, J-Dub, you gonna be down with me?
I'm down with you, brother. You
That's
already
it.
know, man.
J-Dub's OJ made man. I'm sorry, this isn't fair. J-Dub's OJ made man. He owns Ferraris, he owns Ducatis. You'll be taking my chances away. I'm sorry, he's already made, okay? He's already got his life. He's already got his life figured out. I'm a young comer up. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find this guy. I'm gonna get him on the show. That's gonna be my major guest.
The antagonist in chief. I'm still trying to make my way just through the streets. I still don't know what's up.
Yo, Jay, I'm gonna find that dude. I'm gonna hit him up on TikTok. I'm gonna be like, yo, let's do this. Let's get your truth out there. Let yo, Rockstar, you got 3 days, all right?
Listen. Guys, you will not find me there for that podcast, but you will find me on my channel. I will drop a video soon. You know, I will talk about some of the topics I've been missing out on, and you can also find me on Twitter. Okay, staying away from whatever fuckery Puerto Rico is trying to bring me over here.
I'm a kick. Yo. Either I'm gonna end off 2023 on a high note, or I'm gonna kick off 2024 with a banger. But that dude will be there one way or another. We're gonna end 2023 crazy, or we're gonna start 2024 memorable.
Hey, P-Wog, I just want you to know you're gonna need to hire a lawyer service, because he's then gonna tell you that he gave you the best marketing you've ever had in your entire show. So you just gotta be careful real quick. I'm gonna be like, yeah. Real quick there.
Yo, I'm gonna get the joke. I'll be like, yo, we need you to tell you your truth.
You're gonna need to sign a contract first. Don't be coming back and asking us for money, all right? After Rockstar kicks your ass, don't be coming back here. That's why I can't be there, guys. What am I going to pay him? What I'm going to pay him, because he's going to be like, oh, I brought the most people to your channel ever. I can't be having that, okay? I've got speakers to buy, bicycles to afford, okay? I got things to do.
Oh, shit. All right, J-Dub, what you up to, man?
Man, y'all know where to find me on Twitter at JDubCity16. Y'all know I'm kicking up dust, making these damn bots cry on the daily. They screaming media bias against me like my name IGN. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good, man. It's all good.
All right, man. It's good to hear from you. All right. Anyway, hey, it's your only friend these YouTube streets, Puerto77. Now I'm gonna find that dude. I'm gonna find him like Liam Nielsen. We're gonna find him and we're gonna get him on this podcast. We're gonna kick off. We're gonna either end 2023 on the right note, or we're gonna kick off 2024. But yo, we're gonna figure this shit out. GTA, Rockstar, Joker, 60 frames.
We're gonna get it.
All right, we got one more, man. Damn, JD Gamer, we trying to keep it moving. All right, look what he said. M, You are in your own reality. People bought Xboxes for Starfield. My brother got one for Hi-Fi. Yeah, people bought it for Horizon 5. But no, it's not number one, and that's okay.
Hey, listen, since you addressed me, I'm just gonna reply real quick, okay? Starfield is garbage.
They said we bought it for Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh man.
He said people bought an Xbox for Hi-Fi Rush.
Wow, you're gonna do it like that.
Oh, no.
You're gonna do it like that.
This motherfucker
Oh my
said
God.
Hi-Fi Rush is system seller.
This is so evil. You're gonna laugh like that.
He said little Timmy bought Hi-Fi Rush Xbox. He bought the world's most powerful console to play a rhythm game. Oh, yo, you bugging, bro. Oh, shit. I'm out of here. Yo, shout out to JD Gamer. Stay blessed, my brother. You guys take care. Thank you so much, though. Thank you so much for rocking through, JD Gamer. I'm glad you were able to enjoy the conversations and all that stuff.
That was a messy. That was a messy.
Yo, love you guys. Hey, I appreciate for you guys rocking out the channel. Hit the like button on the way out. You guys take care. Peace. My man said people bought